What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy October. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Let me just get my story real quick on my page and let everyone know on my other social media handles. All right, guys, we are live today. Looking at myself on the screen right here. If you guys want to tap in on Instagram, check out my YouTube page, youtube.com/REZRECTION. Going live right now as we speak. Tap in. Let's go. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to come back with y'all for another live and just see what everybody is up to this evening. Already see two people in here. I think the two counts myself, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure, but nonetheless, yeah, today's episode 16, man. We're moving along this pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Yo, Jake, what is good? What's up, man? What's up, man? How you doing? Today is episode POB 1 full. What's good, homie? So just to kind of go over, for those of you who are tuning in today, welcome. I do a lot of streams every week, every Wednesdays from 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as you can see, man, I am kind of festive today for the season. 'Tis the season to be spooky. Just pick this up right here from Spirit. Shout out to Spirit for this dope tee. Super fire shirt. But I actually did a little video on this. Recorded a little video that I probably might upload on the channel, kind of like a vlog style. But anyways, guys, aside from all of that, I just wanted to talk today in this episode 16, as we rapidly approach Halloween. I am feeling a little spooky, man. So if you could look at the title of this video for episode 16, it is Halloween. So what I want to do and dedicate this episode to is basically just kind of go over some horror stories, man. And this could be a unique set of horror stories. It doesn't have to be something that is necessarily like paranormal. It could be anything from like Jersey horror stories or like collecting horror stories or anything that is scary, horrific. Obviously, to some degree, I don't want to talk about anything too crazy, but if you catch my drift, man, this is going to be an interesting topic. And I kind of want to share some stories with everybody this evening with all y'all. So, let me put out the link for anybody that wants to tap in. And also, guys, I would greatly appreciate it if you could let people also know on your social media handles if they would like to join the live, because I always want this live to grow. I do appreciate all the regulars that come in every week, but I'm trying to grow this channel as well. So I want to grow the audience and the participation with other fellow members out there around the world as well. So all right, looks like I got a guest that is going to hop on. The regular. Yo, what's up, man?
Oh, not much.
What's going on, Seattle Kraken?
Yeah.
What's cracking?
Hey, then you got your dad joke out of the way for the week, so you're good to go, right?
Yo, is that a matching? Is that a fitted Kraken? Yeah. Dude, that's fire.
It's a 47 brand fitted. I got it in my normal size, but heads up, if you go with the 47 brand fitteds, they do fit a little big. So It's about, I'd say, an eighth of a size up from your normal standard
New Eras.
So, I mean, like I say, at least with this particular one, but you know how hats are about as consistent as, well, unstirred oatmeal or porridge or whatever. So I have some eights that barely fit my head and others that I'm swimming in them. So, yeah.
So for me, for New Eras, I wear anything from 7 3/8 to 7.5. So if I got a 47 brand, what would I get, a 3/8 or should I?
Well, I would not. What I would say is, like, especially for like the new guys, especially if they're going from like, let's say, replica jerseys into authentic jerseys that are numbered and they don't quite know, like, oh, a large is a 52 or a 48. I always say start with the size that you normally are, and then you can always adjust from there. It's just for me, I kind of know what size I am just from trial and error and just kind of doing some investigative work online. But I would just start off with the 7 3/8, and then you could always either work down or up, just because again, we both know that hats are very kind of finicky depending on what material it is, what type it is, what brand it is, what year it is, era. Like if it's an older style hat, they might fit a little bit snugger than the newer ones or whatever. So I would just say recommend starting off with like a 7 3/8 or like what your normal hat size is, and then
Okay.
you can adjust. Because for me, I'm normally an 8 or so. However, though, I can fit into some 7 7/8, but those are harder to find than 8s are. So
Right. Okay. Yeah, good to know, man. I'll have to take a note of that because I definitely want to get a matching fitted for my Kraken jerseys.
I got it from simplyseattle.com, which is sort of like their online. I don't know if it's an affiliate with this, but yeah. So
Simply Seattle. Okay, I'll have to take note of that. All right, man. Well, anyways, I want to move along the this episode here and kind of get your guys's participation if possible on this episode because I
also
have a
kind
lot
of
of stories.
fitting with the Kraken theme, with like Halloween, spooky.
Absolutely. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
so
man. So basically, yeah, this episode is dedicated to the month of October, specifically Halloween. I just kind of want to talk about like horror stories. And if you have any horror stories, because I have a bunch, but
yeah.
would
Well,
love to hear if you have anything that you'd like to share.
okay. Well, for me, I have. Well, I mean, like I say, we all have like Jersey horror stories and stuff like that. But for me, I do have a couple of not really horror, but kind of paranormal in a
Ooh,
way.
okay.
So kind of to this day, it's like one of those where I'm still kind of scratching my head. But just give me one sec here. Excuse me. Kind of having a couple of beverages here too. But anyway, kind of going back to basically what I'm kind of talking about here is this would have been around 2007 ish. So this was right after my mom passed away. And well, at the house we were living at the time, this would have been a couple months or so afterwards. There was one story. Well, the first story I'll tell is there was one time where I was at home. We were just listening to the radio or something like that. We had like a surround sound system. I kid you not. Literally every radio station possible was playing Afternoon Delight. Every one of them that we could turn to was playing Afternoon Delight. And then it went back to normal radio. So I'm like, okay, this is odd. But, I didn't really think much of it per se. But so, yeah, that's one thing that'll always stick out in my mind. And then there's another story, not long after that, too, where there was a van that we had that that we would take from time to time and stuff like that. But anyway, we were having issues with the normal vehicle that we only drive. Like the alarm was going absolutely wonky and all that stuff. Every time you'd open the door, the alarm would go off. The usual. But then we go into this vehicle. The van would not start up at all. And there's a picture of my mom on the dashboard. And to this day, my dad and I have no idea how that got there, why that was there, and we couldn't start the vehicle.
That's creepy, man. Were you guys like in the middle of nowhere, or where were you guys at? Like,
well, at the time, I mean, this was at our house. Well, we've moved a few times, but yeah, but no, this wasn't in the middle of nowhere. This was just in the garage at our house. But still, it was just like, it was one of those things. It was like, hey, did you put that there? No, I did not. Okay, so
that's creepy.
But to this day, that's probably the two biggest stories that kind of have me going, wait, what?
Yeah.
So
do you believe in like paranormal? Like, do you believe in ghosts and stuff?
I believe that there is something else out there, but I'm not really religious per se. I mean, paranormal, sure. I mean, there's coincidences all over the place that make me kind of think of, well, there's something else here that either put me here or I am where I am because of something. So again, I don't really believe in necessarily like, like religious or this or that or the other thing, but I do believe that there is stuff that is out there, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, totally. Do you believe in like life after death?
I mean, yes and no. I'm one of those guys that usually falls down the middle in a lot of things
Hmm.
because it's like one of those things where I just believe in being a good human, being decent, being, just loving everybody and treating everybody as, people and not, inferiority complexes or just scum of the earth or whatever you may say, because at the end of the day, they're going through something too, just like you and I are, just like, everyone is.
Right.
So, and if there is a higher power out there or whatever, then we'll just worry about that when the time has come. But for me, I just try to do right by everybody and just try to be courteous to everybody because again, everyone's going through stuff. So
I got you. I got you. Real quick, I'm gonna stop you for a second, but yo, Big John, what's up, man? Are you there?
What's up, Rez, man? How you doing, bud?
What's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in tonight, man. I know you're watching AEW, right?
AEW is not on tonight, man. It's going to be
Oh,
on
it's not?
Saturday.
Oh, I thought they have programs throughout the week.
Well, I don't know why they're having it on Saturday,
Huh. Okay.
but I know
Oh,
they have Rampage on Fridays, but
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
one of those things, man.
Mm. All right. Well, dude, I appreciate you hopping on this week, man. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I do these live streams every week, every Wednesdays from 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do apologize last week, guys. I had some personal things I need to take care of, so I did not go live last week, but I am live. We're live this week, so anybody who wants to tune in, Bay Area Throwbacks, what's up, bro? Hop in if you want, man. If you want to talk, we're talking this week, Halloween, your scary stories, man. Bring them. We want to hear them. We want to get terrified. And anything really, anything that is, if you have any Jersey horror stories, if you have any paranormal horror stories, like Jake mentioned with his, or just like a scary story in general, man, we want to hear them this week. Want to dedicate this to the month of October, specifically Halloween, man. So, Big John, see you rocking the jersey. There was that a Colts jersey?
Oh, yeah, man. It's an Eric Dickerson. Since we're talking about Halloween, I just got done watching his Haunting of episode.
Okay, right on, man. Yeah, Dickerson was one of my favorites, man. He was a beast. I have his
Oh, yeah.
his Rams jersey.
Yeah, he actually had some paranormal experiences.
Really?
Yeah, I think he also appeared on the show Celebrity Ghost Stories.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, I know a couple like NFL players that were actually on those shows.
Yeah, it's always interesting, like when you hear like celebrities talk about like paranormal stuff. I know what is his name? He's in the band Blink-182. I forget his name. Travis. I think his name was Travis.
Travis Scott.
Travis.
No, it's not Travis Scott. Travis.
Not Scott.
No, he's the rapper, dude.
Travis Barker. He's with
Travis
Barker. There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Too many Travises. I know.
So,
Hey,
so Travis Barker. He actually put the band on hold because he actually wanted to pursue. And I follow this closely, guys. So I don't think that I'm some weirdo. Like I'm really into like UFOs and all these, like they call it UAP, which is short for unidentified aerial phenomena, which is basically the same thing as UFO. But anyways, he started this program where basically they're studying like UFOs and just like what is it and what's going on with it. So it's really crazy because like for somebody in his position to do something like that, to me it's just fascinating to me. And like now you got like the Pentagon that's involved with like these like flying objects that nobody can seem to pinpoint. And it's gotten crazy now because actually there was a report, or there was a thing that got passed a couple of months ago where I think it was Congress ordered the military or our government to release any classified information on UFOs. Like anything that they had to make it readily available to the public. And the public basically like it came like there was like basically it was underwhelming because all the information that they had available was like inconclusive. It's like shit that we already knew, so to speak.
Oh,
Like we don't know what it is. There's something out there, but we don't know what it is. Like that was basically what they got out of this report. And it was kind of crazy, man, because like everybody was expecting like the government to announce like, yes, we are not alone. There is something out there, and they didn't say anything like that, but they didn't rule it out. They took all the terminology to basically just say this stuff that we're seeing, these reports, they are not of our basically our like we did not start this, we did not create this, we don't know what it is, but this is the possibilities of what it may be. So anyways, like it's crazy. Like I get into that, like sucked into that wormhole, and I digress sometimes about it, but it's super crazy. All right, Bay Area, hope to see you soon, man. Danny Zuko 23, what's up, Josh? I'm a fan of WWE too. That is what's up, bro. Do appreciate you, man. Fellow wrestling head. But Big John, man, do you have any stories, like spooky stories that you have, you'd like to share, or personal ones, or even just from word of mouth?
I have some, like my mom, I got a couple stories from 10 years ago. My mom's brother passed away, and around that time it was crazy. Like my mom's, she grew up with three brothers, and one brother had like a tractor accident, and he was basically knocking on, death's door. And then mom's other brother was in the hospital, and then her daughter was in the hospital. It was just a crazy time, man. And one of my mom's brothers, believe it or not, he was fine, but he had some problems. He thing with him was he wasn't eating too much. He, you know, drank a lot, and that's what really, landed him in the hospital. And at first he didn't want to go to the hospital. Mom says, you're not well. Like it got to the point where he couldn't even hold a water bottle or nothing. Like my mom would have to feed him and all. And whenever we talked to him on the phone, he would hide it. It wasn't until like my mom saw like how bad it was. So he ended up going to the hospital. Well, I want to say a day before, God actually gave my mom a sign. What happened was, they were in the kitchen, they were cleaning something, and there was a little, I think it was like a candle dish or whatever, and it had a picture of God on it. Well, it fell. Next thing you know, when my mom picked it up, it was freaking glowing. I mean, what? Glowing. And my mom was like, there's something here, there's a sign. And his wife was like, there's nothing there. And then the next morning, actually at night, his blood pressure was pretty low. And the thing was, the doctors were negligent. Like they wouldn't check up on him too much. And what ended up happening was, went to the bathroom, passed away. Oh, and wow. It's just crazy, man. Yeah. But my mom we had a couple other signs like that too. I don't know if I told you about my great uncle that used to live here. He helped us get the place that we're in. The motel, res. Right. If it wasn't for him, there's no telling where we would be. We were probably, because we were jumping from motel to motel. You know how business works. Yeah. And it wasn't until we got here, we settled down, and we've been living here for over 12 years. This was before the Benoit, murder suicide. I think we moved here early 2007, and what happened was, how Mighty calls me to minister. We actually built a little Hindu temple in our home, and actually, it's not really in our home, but it's like. It's sort of connected to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a little building, but we built a temple, and he helped us out. We are making this little concrete support because we have some statues coming in, and what happened was we built it. I'm talking about it's just fine. Next thing you know, it bursted, and my great uncle, the concrete ended up splashing all over him, and his two buddies were outside. Like they were helping us out, and after that, like we had to shovel concrete and build it back up. It was a bit lopsided because it bursted. Well, after that, you know, he said he was going to come back again and check everything out, and he was going to put the tiles in, of course, and he even picked it out, and then he told us the last thing. He was like, "I'm going on vacation, and I'll see you guys when I come back." Unfortunately, he never came back, and he went to the beach with his family. He even took his in-laws with him, all his buddies. Every year they go on a trip, and he was one of those guys. He could swim, and he taught all his. He even taught me a little bit how to swim, and taught all the kids. Well, he went into the water, and a big wave got him, and this is the part where I do. And fortunately, the wave got him, and he ended up passing away. And it's just, it's
Yeah,
crazy, man. But
that's a tough story.
Mm-hmm.
and what's even crazier was my mom. She talks about it all the time. But God, that day, that in our temple where the concrete, burst and splashed all over him. My mom talked about all the time that God gave us a sign and we didn't know it. And my mom even said after the concrete like splashed all over him, it was like a big old wave, man. And my mom even said to him, something's gonna happen. And what's crazy is he told my mom nothing's gonna happen, everything's gonna be fine. And then a couple weeks later, the wave got him. So it
Wow.
was crazy. And then the funeral was real rough. They got most of the water out of him. It was bad. Like he was a really skinny guy, man. It's just crazy. His wife obviously being state she was, ended up he was already gone, like the doctors and everybody said, but still put her on life support.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And fortunately, ended up having to pull the plug, and of course, how crazy it was, and they actually came to me to give the eulogy, and it was one of the hardest things. After that, I don't really want to. I don't really like going to funerals after that. It's just too hard for me. And seeing them like this, like, man.
I get it.
I'm a pretty emotional guy, but I was like, yeah. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this year I have had to bury two family members. So my brother back in April, and my grandpa just passed away about a month ago. So
my condolences, man.
Yeah. Well, in fact, my brother is one of the reasons why I'm as big of a Vikings fan as I am. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta tell y'all something, man. You know how much I love AEW, Rez, and I'm gonna tell you why, man. You know how AEW premiered back in October of 2019, early October.
Yep.
A couple days before that, my mom's sister-in-law, so my mom's brother's wife, ended up taking her life. And you want to talk about crazy? She did it around the time that my grandparents were on the airport, on the plane, headed to our place. They lived in India, and they ended up coming here. And before they got on the plane, she made him some tea, and she was crying and hugging him, and they obviously at that time they didn't know what was going to happen. Nobody did. And then at night she ended up taking her life, actually in our home in India, and it was crazy, man. And of course, when they got back, grandparents, of course, it's obviously it's hard. You have to be careful. And we had a couple other family members that finally we just told him, and it was crazy. And then, of course, the funeral and everything. And this was around the time that AEW was premiering, and my granddad's actually a huge wrestling fan. My mom's dad, he used to go to the matches all the time with my grandma, and he's to this day he still watches wrestling, AEW. And I'll never forget October. I think it was October 2nd, 2019. AEW came on TNT. I was watching Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, and my granddad actually came in my room, and he saw I was watching wrestling. Right off the bat, he sat down, and I had never seen my granddad smile that much. It was a spot where Brandy Rhodes fell down, and my granddad was laughing. After that, I was like, you know what? I'm an AEW guy, because during one of our worst moments, they put a smile on an 85-year-old man. And I'll tell people, the people that complain about wrestling, if AEW can entertain an 85-year-old man, it can entertain anybody. Because my granddad is as old school as they come. Like when he started watching wrestling, Lou Thez was the world champion. So,
Oh wow.
Ever since then, I'm an AEW guy.
Yeah.
I try to be as loyal as I can, man. And AEW helped me out through a rough time.
That's what's up, man. No, it's dope. I think that's a dope story to share, man. Because I don't watch pro wrestling as much as I used to. To be honest with you, like I've always been, and always will be a WWE guy at heart. But at the end of the day, like I feel like AEW is just hitting it in every corner, man. They're doing it right. And I mean, the roster shows that. You look at the roster, man. These are wrestlers that were around during a golden era of wrestling, and they're still around, fortunately. So
Yeah. There's something else. I told you about my aunt, taking her life.
Yeah.
A couple months before that, April is my birthday, April 26th, and she never did this, but she actually called me on my birthday on my cell phone. And I actually showed my mom, like I was surprised because she never called me on my birthday, and I'll never forget. She wished me a big old happy birthday, sang to me, and then a couple months later this happened. So it's like sometimes. Sorry, man. I'm trying to keep myself from crying, but
no,
it's
for sure,
it's like there are days. You know how it is when you lose a family member. You have good days, you have bad days, and there are days I do get upset with her. I'm like, come on, you should have just came to us. It's not like we didn't help him out, but I don't know, man. And but all I know is I hope she's in a better place, man. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing those stories. I know those stories are really personal to you, man. So I do appreciate you, sharing those personal stories. By the way, guys, just a disclaimer. I'm not trying to pressure you guys. If you don't want to share something that is too emotional, I completely understand. That was not my intention.
Yeah.
This episode, this episode was basically just to kind of be chilling with the festivities of this month, man. Just kind of being just a little fun, fun and spooky at the same time type of thing. So if you guys don't, if you guys don't want, if there's certain stuff that you don't want to share, I completely get it, man. But Big John, dude, I do appreciate you, man, for telling us something, sharing that personal story with like some of your personal family members and stuff like that. So
but I gotta say something, man. And since we're talking about this, it brought back memories of when Rez, remember the wrestler Daphne from TNA?
Oh man, sorry, man. I had to highlight.
Who is that?
Michael Myers up in the building. What's good? The boogeyman.
Oh God.
What's good, y'all?
What up, dude?
What's good?
I had to think who that actually was behind the mask for a second.
I was gonna pull up the Halloween song.
Oh, that would have been perfect. I should have had that ready when I was coming on.
That would have been dope, dude.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. I think Big John, you were still talking, right?
Oh yeah, man. I was, he was talking about my aunt. So I'll tell you, Rez, remember the wrestler Daphne last month? Remember she went on live Instagram?
Daphne. What was her last?
Daphne Huger. She was in WCW like cruiserweight champion. I'll show you a picture of her, man.
Let me. All right.
She wrestled in WCW, and man, you know how Chris Benoit, a lot of those guys had CTE.
Yeah.
She ended up coming on Instagram Live, and she was talking about CTE and all that, and she ended up taking her life. On Instagram.
Yeah, I remember. Wait, she did it on Instagram?
She didn't do it on Instagram. She had the gun, but the last thing she said was that she said, "Remember to take my brain to Boston." And then after that, she ended up taking her life. I'll show you a picture of her, man. She former cruiserweight champion, man.
Yeah. While you're looking at the picture, man, just want to talk to you guys. Obviously, episode tonight is Halloween based. You see decked out in the spirit Halloween gear right here with the Warriors. Shout outs to Dub Nation taking that first W against the Lake Show. But yeah, man, spooky stories, man. We want to hear them. If you guys have something, let me highlight you real quick, Big John.
There's her right there, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember her now. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It brought back a lot of bad memories.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. That whole CT thing is no joke either, man. Like, didn't Junior Seau have that?
Yep,
he did. Yeah. And I want to tell you something, Rez, man. I myself have had a lot of concussions and all that, and I'll be honest, man. There's some days I have good days, I have bad days. It's just bad, man. That's why I like talking to you, man. Because before I had the Jersey community, man, I was not in a good place, man. And it wasn't until I met all you guys, and like I said, I'm just happy to be part of this. Meeting Mighty. Mighty cracked me up on one of your other lives when he was talking about Ben Simmons. I can't believe I missed that live.
That's a horror story in itself, man.
I can't believe I missed that live, man. One of your greatest lives, and I freaking missed it.
Dang.
That's fire. Yeah, I know, man. Well, you know what? Hey, the good thing about it is that every live I try to make different, so there's always going to be new memories every week, man. So this week, somebody's probably going to be like, "Yo, Rez, I missed this episode." With you, Big John, Bayer at Throwbacks, and Jake. And, that's what I try to do, man. I try to keep this fresh. I try to keep it different. I try to talk about different things every week. So, yeah.
I'm also kind of watching hockey, too, while this is going on. Pretty good game so far. I'm watching Philly-Boston on TNT. It's 4-3 Philly with about 2 minutes or so in the third. So,
Sharks are 2-0.
That's why.
You're a Wild fan, though, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I didn't know you were a Flyers fan.
No. Well, I do. Well, like I say, that's sort of the Jersey head in me.
Yeah.
As much, I'm a Wild fan, but it's just like for me. Well, case in point, I'm rocking the Kraken jersey over here. So,
let's say that Kraken jersey looks good.
Oh yeah. The only thing I will say, though, I must warn, like, the guys who don't have them. I don't know if Rez, you ran in the same issue, but because of the new prime green jersey with the logo being a little bit different, it almost is like kind of stiffer. So I would recommend, at least if you like yours a little bit looser, like I do, I'd go a size up from like the older Adidas NHL jerseys, but just because of how the logo is.
Yeah. So I haven't actually like wore mine out yet in public because
this is the first night I've rocked this literally just about 3 hours ago. So
okay, because I did I tried it on when I was in my when I was doing my video on it, but I didn't actually wear it to outside. Plus, I live in San Jose, man, so wearing a Kraken jersey out here is kind of dangerous. You know what I mean? Because we're infested with Sharks fans out here, so I got to pick the right time and moment to rock it, man. But Bay Area Throwbacks, man. What you got? You got any horror stories you want to share with us, man?
Yeah, I got one with my mom. So we were we were driving back one day. From I forgot where we were driving from, but we went by there was this Lucky's. If you don't know what Lucky's is, it's just like a Safeway grocery store. So there was a Lucky's a couple blocks from our house. So we're driving, and as we're driving down, this is like a main street, but it's
Hold on, I'll be right
it's
back.
like in the huh.
I'll be right back. Hold up.
Okay. But it's so we're driving, and then it's probably like, I don't know, maybe like 7 o'clock. Like there's still some cars out, but it's dark already. So my mom looks away for a second and she's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. And then I see a lady walking, like we're going, I don't know, 40, 50 miles, whatever, miles per hour. And in front of us, I see this old lady with her head down, white hair, pushing a shopping cart. So I yelled at my mom. I said, "Hey, like move." So my mom swerved out of the way of this lady. Now this lady was literally head down, shopping cart going straight to our car, and we're, like I said, we're going like 50 miles per hour or whatever. And then so we swerve out the way, and then once we look back, there's a car right behind us, and that car didn't move. We don't see the lady anymore, but we both saw this lady, and it was just like, what the fuck? So we just looked back, and it was like, it wasn't like I just saw. We both saw that lady, but there's a car behind us, maybe like 20, 30 feet. Like that lady couldn't have got out of the way of that car, and that car was just going straight and never move behind us. So I don't know how that lady was a ghost or what that was, but like we saw an old lady with the white hair pushing the shopping cart, and somehow she just disappeared right behind us. It was crazy.
I caught a white lady or white hair, and she passed through a car. What was it? Is that what happened?
So we were driving down. It was kind of like a main street, but it's like 7-8 p.m. So there's not a lot of cars, but there's still cars out. It's dark already, but there's still some light. So as we're driving, we're going maybe like, I don't know, I'm in the passenger seat, my mom's driving. She's probably going, I don't know, 50, something like that, miles per hour. So as she's driving, she looks out the way for a second, like just looks out the window, and I'm looking straight forward, and all of a sudden I see an old lady with white hair with her head down just like this.
Oh heck no.
Walking, pushing a shopping cart, coming right at us, like, and we're going full speed. She's just walking like head down, and then I yelled at my mom to I was like, "Hey!" And she looked and saw the lady, and she swerved out of the way. So after she swerved out of the way, we looked behind us, and there's a car maybe 30 feet behind us. That car just kept going and never swerved or anything, and we didn't see the lady anymore. So I don't know what, like, there's no way she could, like, so I don't know where she went or what happened or how that worked, but we both saw this lady come in with the shopping cart toward our cars. We're driving full speed, and the car behind us never swerved or anything and just kept driving and didn't hit anything. So I don't know what that was, but we both saw her.
Wow. Yeah, that's so spooky. Was this in a highway or where was it?
No. This was in like a main street in a suburb near San Mateo.
Okay.
So it was like a main street next to the Lucky's, which it was next to a shopping center. It had like a Lucky's, couple restaurants, grocery store, all that. So, but what's crazy is other people around there have talked about, they call her the Lucky's witch.
Yeah.
And they say they've seen her before. And when I was younger in high school, I remember I used to ride my Razor scooter around everywhere. So I remember coming home one night at like 2 a.m, and I saw this was like 2 a.m. I probably had a couple drinks, whatever. So I'm riding my scooter down that same street, literally a block before the grocery store. And then I see a lady and I used to always have my iPod in, but I see a lady ahead of me with white hair, old lady. She has her knees on the ground and her head on the floor on the cement. And I have my iPod loud as hell. She's yelling so loud, this shriek, that I could hear through my iPod, which like I said, I have it loud. It's 2 a.m, so I don't know if anyone else is hearing this, but she was screaming like it was this weird, like, scary movie scream. And I immediately went to the other side of the street and just went as fast as possible without looking. And like I said, people have talked about this lady. They call her the Lucky's witch. So I don't know if that was the same lady me and my mom saw, because it's just like an older white lady with white hair. And there was another time where I used to work at that Lucky's, and this was like in the morning though, and I saw a lady who looked like her just sitting on the side, just not saying anything, not doing anything. But that was like broad daylight, and I didn't really say anything to her. I just walked by her. So I don't know if that was the same lady, but like I said, me and my mom saw that lady. Like we both saw her driving, and she just disappeared behind us. So
Damn.
That's probably my like kind of weird.
Great. Was this? You said this was in San Mateo?
Foster City, which is like right next to San Mateo.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm not very far from there, dude. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so so it was over there. So, and I mean, other people have talked about this lady, so I know that it's not just us imagining that, but yeah, so that was kind of, like I said, for the car behind us to be 30 feet behind us and not swerve at all, and we swerved and both saw her, like she just vanished. So that was pretty crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's creepy, bro.
Yeah.
So like there's an area, there's a couple of areas here actually in San Jose that's kind of, we don't, it's supposedly haunted based on the lore, but there was this one instance where we actually it was up in the hills, and they call it they call the street, it's called San Felipe. It's like a road, but as you go up towards the road, it begins to get like, you start to lose service. It gets really dark. There's really not that many people living around that area. And so there's a trail. There's a trail there, and the trail stops. There's a gate on the front, and it basically says no trespassing. Obviously, this was when I was like a young kid, and I didn't care about anything. But basically, the story is, if you go past this, the gate, and you go up the hill, there's an abandoned building there that used to be a school, and apparently the school, the story behind it, and I don't know how true this is, but the story behind it is that the school burned down, and kids got burned there with it. Like that's basically the gist of the story. So me being a young and reckless kid back in the day, me and a couple of friends decided to go there one day, go up there, in the middle of the night, and basically like try to see something, see something paranormal. So I just remember like it was crazy because when we got up there, this was before the era of like smartphones. So obviously all we had back then were like flip phones and stuff. But we go up there, and we obviously hop the gate, and then there's a car that's driving up to where we parked our car. But here's the crazy part. This car had no lights on whatsoever. So first off, just to kind of give you a description of the road, it's very slopey, and you could literally like drive off to your death if you drive recklessly. And so these slopes, man, like I said, they were very narrow. I think they were like one lane on each side. So like there was this car that was like driving with no lights on. There was like absolutely no way that car could have driven like that without no lights on. Like it was scary. But anyways, the car pulled over to where our car was parked, and then we tried to we were like, what is this? What is going on? And so we tried to get a closer look, and the car just drove off. And we were like, okay, that's really weird. So anyways, we decided to hop the fence, and we're walking up the hill and stuff like that, and then we see the building, and obviously this building is all tagged, it's all graffitied and everything. We go inside, and dude, it was just creepy. Like the whole time I felt like someone was in there watching us, and it was like one of those things where like my friends, they wanted to play with a Ouija board. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing none of that.
Don't mess with the dead.
Forget that.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm out. I'm out. We got freaked out.
Don't mess with the dead, man.
No, yeah, I've never touched a Ouija board in my life, and I don't plan to.
Neither have I.
But
this does remind me of another story too when you get done. So
yeah, no, for sure. So like basically, we kind of explored in there, and it was like weird because it looked like there was like remains of like candles, and it almost looked like somebody was trying to do a ritual in there. And we heard something, and we just got freaked the hell out, and we just jumped out the window and just ran back to the car and drove away. We never went back, never looked back. But yeah, that was a creepy story. That was one of my creepy stories. So
yeah.
So, but yeah, you said you got a creepy story, right, Jake? You got something?
Yeah, actually, I just kind of thought of this while you were saying this. This was back around 2015, like the fall time of 2015. I was at college. Me and one of my buddies, I'm trying to remember exactly anyway, it was like around October, around this time of year, September, October, November, right before it gets cold in the upper Midwest and in that area. And so we were outside at one of the local parks at the college town that I was at. And we were just swinging on the swings. It was me and one of my other buddies at the time. And there's these two girls that come up from the playground area, sat right at the edge. So trying to kind of remember exactly the location, but like the swing set was about like right here or so. The playground was about like right about here or so, kind of in that area. And then these girls just kind of sat right there, or just like talking and stuff like that, like to the point where we're like, okay, this is a little weird. So we just left. Now that was as far as I know about that or whatever, but that was just one of those that just randomly repopped into my head as you were kind of talking about that. And I was just like, because by the way, this was about the same time when the sun was starting to go down, because around here, pretty much after about 5 or 6 o'clock local time, so it was like right around, like right after sunset, but not quite when it goes all the way dark outside yet. So it was just, I mean, we really couldn't see who they were or whatever the case was, but yeah, so that was a little creepy to me. And by the way, it was, yeah, me and my buddy were just sitting there on the swings, just kind of talking, and then just two random little girls just come up and sit right and just start. It was weird.
The only thing the first thing comes to mind for me is The Shining. The two little girls in the.
Yeah. No, if I heard "Come play with me," I would have jumped off the swing, ran into my car, and just hightailed it out of there.
I would have been the same.
I'd have been like, "Oh hell no!"
So, like, Jonathan, you're a horror buff, right? Because you got that Michael Myers stuff. Like, are you into like horror stuff or?
I like I like Halloween. I watch all the every October. That's once October 1st hits, I watch every movie, all the Halloween movies all the way through. Except for number 3 because there's no Michael Myers in that, so I don't really count that one. But like the Halloween is my main one. Like I don't really watch Elm Street or Jason or any of the other ones. I just watch Halloween. And then when I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So those are like the two that I've always been like on. I watched that Trick or Treat movie the other day that came out like 13 years ago.
I've never heard of that one. Is that
if you go to the spirit store, you'll see there's a character, a little orange person who wears the sack over his head.
Yeah.
That movie, to me, that movie sucked. I watched it. I wanted to like that character.
Yeah.
And that movie was just didn't make any. It was just all over the place. But yeah, for me, it's like Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I like to hear about like scary stuff, especially when it's stuff that's supposed to be like real, like the exorcism and all that stuff. How that's supposed to be like real, supposedly based off real stuff. So
right,
it's not. You said no?
Huh?
I thought someone said it's not true.
Oh no, I was just saying like movies that are like based on true events and stuff.
Yeah, like those I like to see sometimes, just because it's kind of interesting how it's supposedly real. And I mean, I definitely believe in weird stuff happening. I believe in a lot. I think that the weird stuff definitely does happen out there that we don't know about or do know about, or I don't know.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. My girl is actually like really into horror. She's like a horror aficionado. I'm not so much, but she started to kind of get me into it because I was never really into horror movies, to be honest with you. But I mean, like, because like the horror movie that I thought was funny but was kind of dope was Freddy versus Jason. Like that movie came out when I was like, in high school. So like, just having two horror icons just kind of clash, I thought was kind of cool. But the movie obviously was.
I love that.
Huh?
I'll tell you why I love that movie, man. There was that hot chick in that movie, man. Remember, Freddy was cloning her, man. I was like, I think it was Freddy. I was like, Freddy, what are you doing, man? I'm talking about this one was hot. You know what? If Big John would have been in there, it would have been over with, man.
So, like, let me ask you. I mean, whether you guys are horror fans or not, like, who do you think, like, if all horror like characters got into one room and duked it out to the death, like, Who do you think would come out? Like
Michael Myers,
Michael Myers? Okay.
because
That's what I
he can't die. Like, I don't know if you've seen Halloween Kills yet in the movie theater.
Not the new one. No. I saw the
so-
last one though.
Okay, so yeah, if you watch Halloween Kills, I don't want to do any spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything. But even before that, if you watch I think it's number 6, which is The Curse of Michael Myers,
Yeah.
they put out the story how he's really a part of this cult, and basically he can't really die. So therefore, I mean, if you can't die, then I feel like you win.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Can Jason and Fred? I mean, do they have some type of
Jason-
power? They can't die. I
Well-
never watched those ones, so I really don't know too much about them.
So like from my knowledge, from what I know, like Freddy Krueger like none of them can die really. Like
Okay.
not completely, because like the thing is with Freddy, what makes him scary is that he lives in the dream worlds.
That's true. Yeah, that's
and
true.
the little doll. That's like Mighty Fan's favorite right there. What was his name? Billy? I think is the doll's name. It's Billy, right? I
Remember the hat he got?
So
Oh yeah, I saw that video. The hat that he got.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying, so like with Freddy Krueger, like he lives in the dream world, so
That's
like
true.
he can never die. Basically, like if it's scary because like literally like the moment you fall asleep, and everybody has to sleep at some point, you know what I mean? Like he can get you, and it's basically he has control over like the dream world pretty much. So
I need to watch those ones then.
yeah, it's like really scary because like he can't die, dude. Like
Yeah.
and everybody has to sleep. So one way or another, like if he's looking for you and you're like, oh, well, I'm just not gonna sleep, that's like impossible because everybody has to sleep and close their eyes, you know. But it's crazy. I think like between Freddy Krueger's storyline and also what's his name? Leatherface, who was based off of a real person. Those are like probably two of the scariest like horror
My
stories.
problem with Leatherface is when I really read the real story, it is nothing like. First of all, it was in Wisconsin. I think it wasn't even Texas. What is this? Second of all, it was some weird dude who killed like 5. I think it was like 5 women, and it was like with the shotgun. And then the only real part of all that was that he used to cut off. He was in a body part, so he used to cut their faces off and put it as a woman. He used to like to be a woman, but not like body wise. So he would put on the woman's female body parts, the face and all that. But that dude was just a weirdo. He wasn't even on like some. That's so far off from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but
That's just I think that's just Hollywood's way of trying to capitalize on
Yeah.
but I still used to love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, though. Especially Jessica Biel running away from him. Like you can't get mad at that.
Hey,
No,
Rez,
I hear you. What's up, man?
this is how much I love Halloween movies, man. I have a freaking list.
Dang. Okay. You came prepared.
I
Yeah,
love
so-
Halloween movies.
That's another one too. Oh, another one, like another character that I don't really know so much about, but he freaked me out as a kid, was Pinhead. Pinhead from the Hellraiser films. Like that dude, he freaked me the hell out, bro. Like it just I didn't even see the movie, so I don't even really know what it's about. But if I show you a picture, you'll be like, oh, I know who that is. But
No,
like,
I know who he is, but I never saw any of those movies, so I don't
oh
know
yeah,
his story either.
yeah. I don't really know much about him, but like he just freaked me out. Like looking at him as a kid,
No, he looks crazy.
I was just terrified. I was like, what the hell is
You know which movie I watched that was like an old school, I think 80s or whatever, supposed to be scary movie that disappointed me was It, like the original It.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't scared. It wasn't scary to me. Like I don't know. I didn't really get scared by it. So I thought it was gonna be scared and I was gonna be tripping. But that movie was disappointing me, in my opinion.
The original or the new
No,
one?
the original. Yeah, I watched the original one because I was like, I want to see this. I want to see what he's about. I watched it and I was disappointed by it
Really?
personally.
No, it's. I mean, yeah. Like this. I mean, I'm not like. There's a lot of horror films where I'm just kind of like, okay, like
Yeah.
I don't see what the big deal
Yeah.
is, you know. The Exorcist movie always freaked me out. You know,
Yeah,
that
I
was
like-
a scary one because that was actually based off of a real event.
Yeah. I used to listen to the You know what I used to do when I played college baseball? We used to do bus rides. Like we'd have these late night bus rides after games and stuff. We'd be driving like 8 hours in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest. So I used to listen to like the supposed real tapes of like
Oh
Emily
my
Rose or
gosh, bro.
Exorcism
What are you doing?
because in the back of the bus, just because it was the perfect scene because it was dark, we're in the middle of nowhere, but I'm surrounded by 40 guys, so it's not like I'm alone, but you could kind of feel like you're alone in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of like.
That's too
But
creepy.
that I mean, those tapes are probably fake that I was listening to, but either way, it was crazy. Like listening to even fake exorcisms.
Right. No, for
So-
sure. So I kind of wanted to dedicate a quick little segment on this episode here, man. But since we're all sports fans here, I kind of came prepared for this topic. But I wanted to ask you guys, like, tell me your scariest, like, sports horror jersey, whatever, like story. Like, I want to hear it. Something like. Everybody has one. I feel like if you're a sports fan, if you're a jersey head, everybody has one. Like, I don't care what you tell me, whether it's collecting jerseys, whether it's watching sports, there's some sort of horror story, you know. Even having the worst record could be seen as horrific.
Well, to be fair, though, being a Vikings fan, you could say probably what could be cause for being horror or just. I mean, good, yeah.
I mean, you guys aren't. What is your record right now? You guys aren't that bad, right? I mean,
Well, we're 3-3, but don't let the record fool you. We barely beat the Lions, but to be fair, though, it literally took a 66-yard field goal from the Ravens to beat them. But we should have beaten the Panthers more than we did. I mean, I saw this stat real quick, and then I'll kind of get into, like, I guess my horror story, which has more to do with more like jersey purchases than really like an actual horror story per se. But anyway, it was just like, yeah, with the Vikings and stuff like that, we could be 5-1, we could be 1-5, and I wouldn't be surprised either way, honestly. But anyway, like I say, that's for a different stream for a different day. But for me, I'd have to say probably my jersey horror story, I guess. Well, it was just more of I took a chance and I kind of got, well, basically like a game of Russian roulette. The bullet was finally in the chamber for me. I'll kind of show you what it is here, but.
pull something up real quick. Because I actually wanted to show you guys something that was kind of scary. Where did it go? I can't find it. I gotta find this later. Pull it up at some point. But what about you, Big John? Do you have like a?
Well, this is the horror story that just kind of finishing it off here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got a couple, man. Okay, so Rez, you know how I graduated high school back in 2018. So, this was during a time when I couldn't afford, authentic Mitchell Ness jerseys. So, I was rocking replicas, and this was my first time ever getting a Mitchell Ness replica jersey. And we went, and so after I graduated, the next day, me, my mom, and a family friend of ours who's an artist from India, we all went to this little sports shop in Memphis, and there was a lot of good replica jerseys, a 96 Barry Sanders and all that, but I'm a Bears fan, so I saw the Walter Payton and I was like, you know what, I gotta get it. So I got the 85 replica. Well, a couple weeks later, I told my dad, my dad used to be he used to own a little what's it called, a little dry cleaning business.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad knows how to wash jerseys. And I'd already told my dad anyways. I was like, Dad, please do not put it on the dryer. Guess what he did?
He put it in
the dryer and freaking destroyed the jersey. It got to the point where it was unwearable.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't just one time he put it in the dryer. It was a couple times he put it. And I was just like, come on. And the thing was, whenever my dad would wash my jerseys, I would be at work. So when people said, why don't you wash your own jerseys? Thing is, I'm at work. And, my dad's doing the, laundry and all that. So I was like, Dad, can you please wash it? Don't put it in the dryer, just, and he puts it in the dryer.
Oh, man.
That's just one of the horror stories. Another one I'm about to show you, man. It involves a Shaquille O'Neal Lakers Nike jersey.
You know what? Let me. I got to show you guys this. So right here, man. This. Let me pull it up.
Look at the 3.
Hold on,
I just got it dry cleaned.
What happened? Oh,
you
lost
can't
him.
really see it too well on the video.
Let me. Oh, it bubbled.
Ooh,
yeah, it bubbled, man.
Damn.
Hey, I'm still gonna rock it. I paid pretty good for this. I'm still gonna rock it.
Wait, how did that happen though?
Dude, I got it dry cleaned. Usually they do a good job. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. They must have did a really bad job when they dry cleaned it.
The thing about my dry cleaners is they usually do a good job. I'll give you an example of a good job they did, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I've never seen that happen like with a legit jersey before. Like that's kind of crazy. Highlight this comment real quick. What are y'all teams for each sport? Mine are Cowboys, Warriors, and Astros. Mine is Dubs, Giants, Sharks, and Niners. Those are my teams.
Giants, Niners, Warriors, Sharks, and then the A's are my second baseball team.
A's are dope too. Yeah, I like the A's too.
Mine is Wild, Vikings, and that's really about the 2 major ones. So,
for sure.
Do you live in Minnesota?
No, well, I technically live kind of on the border of Iowa and Minnesota in Iowa. So,
for sure.
Rez,
I had a teammate from Iowa.
Hey, Rez, this is an example of a good job they did. When I first bought this jersey, you want to talk about needing a bath. I mean, the whole neck collar and everything, man, was dirty. I mean, it was crazy. The sleeves, everything.
White jersey, man.
And
yeah,
when I got this jersey from the dry cleaners, dude, this jersey was glistening, man. Like, it was popping, bro. But I don't know. I guess it was just an error because the thing is, they hired a couple teenagers there now.
Oh yeah,
that never works out well.
Yeah, they probably do.
Not usually.
And I'll tell you another good job they did. Rez, remember the powder blue junior say I got, man?
Yep.
Remember when I first bought the jersey? Remember it had the captain's patch on it, and the late great Ron helped me remove it. Well, I ended up taking this to, the dry cleaner. They had a seamstress. You want to talk about doing a good job? The captain's patch was right there. You can't even tell that there was a captain's patch here. That's how much of a good job she did.
That's what's up. They took it out?
Yep, took it out. And Ron actually sent me a message of how to take it off, and I ended up showing it to her, and she ended up doing a great job. So again, thank you, Ron.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
This was the first jersey that he helped me out with. So whenever I wear the jersey, it's an honor of him.
That's fire.
And
yeah,
of course,
I gotta give me that powder blue Sail too. I have the
slacker. Just kidding. Just kidding, Rez.
No, you're good. You're good. Let me show you something that's kind of horrific for me, man. This is a horror jersey for me. A blank
what is that?
Jersey and the Seahawks. Throw up. Ugh.
That's gross.
Well, for showing horror jerseys.
I don't like lime green anything though, but
I like the color. I like lime green, but dude, like those. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand this.
I don't get a blank football
jersey. Here's mine.
Was it?
Rez,
that's your guys' rivals, right? The Packers.
The Packers,
biggest rivals.
Don't bring. Oh God.
Why do you have a cheesehead? Why do you have a cheesehead jersey?
Because I'm a jersey collector.
I'm not getting the Dodgers jersey.
Yeah, I won't either. The Seahawks and Dodgers are out of my
Seahawks, Dodgers, Golden Knights are out.
Golden Knights. Ooh, yeah, I can't deal with the Golden Knights, man.
You know what? I gotta say this, man. Since y'all bringing up the Packers, I will say one thing. It was a good game. My Chicago Bears, but I gotta say this about Aaron Rodgers, and the commentator summed it up. You know how everywhere else they sell Michael Myers masks? In Chicago, they sell Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers, man. That man, I'm not afraid to say it, the man is the devil. Okay? Those eyes, man.
Oh, I've been saying that for years, but no one listens to me. So.
I'm tired of him, man. I'm like, yo. I'm like,
you think you're tired of him, John?
Yo, I think Aaron Rodgers, man, he has more to prove than everyone else. I feel like because he's at that age now where, his career is going to be determined, like pretty much with how the Packers do this season. Speaking of, I think we're playing you guys in a couple weeks. I think not this upcoming week because we're playing the Colts, but I think the week after.
Yeah. And we take on, and the Vikings take you guys on in like week 11 or 12, I think, something like that. It was 425 game, so I know that.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about you guys, man, but the Niners just so far, bro. I don't know.
Oh, and also, real quick, shout out to you, also, Big John.
Oh man,
I got this on Fanatics for $16.
That's crazy.
Hey,
I have that style Bears jersey I might sell, so I don't know if you'd be interested, Big John, but it's an Urlacher in that color.
What size, man?
It's a 54, I think. 54 or 56. I have to double check.
I don't know. I'm actually thinking about, speaking of Urlacher, man, remember on the group when Alex, another fellow Bears fan, was selling that jersey? Was Alex Zier? I think
Oh yeah.
CEHR. Man, he was selling a Pro Bowl Brian Urlacher 2003 jersey for a good price, and I missed out on it. And guess who beat me to the punch? Andrew Knoll. Andrew Knoll beat me. I was like, come on, Andrew.
Andrew Knoll beat
Andrew, but come on, man.
Yeah, he
Alex told me he was like, if the other guy doesn't guess it, it's yours. And I had a feeling because Andrew commented, and I was like, oh. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, he beat me to the punch. But you know what?
You know what, though, Big John? You should hit up Noel because he actually might be selling it, and he might actually give you a deal because he actually I don't know if you know this, but he actually has a store on eBay. It's called City of Winners.
I know. I bought from him.
Oh yeah, for sure. So then because like I'm sure he's not buying that to like as a personal. Like he's probably just buying it to like sell. But you might have to pay a little bit more. But hey, if you really want the jersey, he might.
Yeah, man, it's worth it. Since you're a 49ers fan, you know where I got my Joe Montana from, right? My '89. I got it from him.
There you go.
and my USA run. My USA run, Jerome Brown, I got from him. So, hey, he's blessed my collection enough. Him and Sarge.
I gotta get me a Jerome Brown because let's say I got an Eagles grill. I'm gonna leave it at that. I haven't shown it yet, but I will share it soon on the channel.
Looking for one.
Best corner out there, Coach Prime. Yeah, is that the Korea version? The made in Korea? You're muted, bro. I love the way that fits.
Yeah, I just got it like a week ago. It's let me see. Yeah, it's the special edition Korea one from like 06 or something.
Dude, the way that fits, that just fits so perfect, man.
Yeah, plus they made it more true to the actual jersey opposed to the newer ones. The newer ones have too many flaws that I've seen.
Yeah. Right. Ben says, let me highlight his comment real quick. He says, I never collected jerseys because people will call me a bandwagon. Nah, bro.
No.
Say what they want, dude.
I don't care what people say,
there's a whole circuit of dudes on my channel right now who literally wear whatever they want.
I mean, just look at my background behind me. That should tell you something. I have a Chiefs jersey. Granted, he was a Viking legend. two, but a Vikings jersey, Wild jersey. I have like a local Pro-Am team. I mean, I have a couple Nike jerseys over here of like different teams too that are, ironically enough, all NFC teams.
Yeah.
People overuse that bandwagon word.
Yeah.
I know.
Rez,
But yeah,
I'm
Big
a-
John, how does that Reggie White not burn when you wear it?
dude. Hey, I'm
It's
a
the
Reggie
minister,
White
bro.
guy. I love Reggie White, man, and this is the El Salvador run, and of course
Oh,
I got
nice.
the old.
No, is that a Reebok Dion or Barry Dion?
Yes, sir.
Damn, that's
Ooh,
Reebok
old Pro
authentic,
line even. Nice.
Pro line.
That's fire, dude.
Check it, bro. This is how much of a Jersey head I am. I'm a Bears fan with a Lions and a Packers jersey.
Hey, to be fair, I have like two Bears jerseys, like 4 Lions jerseys, and a Packers jersey. So I understand that one.
I have yet to get a Vikings. I would love to get a Randy Moss.
You know which Randy Moss jersey that I really want? I really want his college jersey from Marshall.
Ooh,
I'm
that's
getting a
a-
Oh
Reebok,
man, I want it so bad, dude. That green just hits like so different, man. But I can't. I only know one company that made it, and every time I see it on eBay, it's fake. Speaking of, let me share it with you guys, and let me just show you how horrible this thing looks. Let's see, because I have been searching high and low for this jersey, and I have no luck. I saw one that I thought was legit, but it was like a size 64. So I was like, I cannot fit in this thing, and I don't want to chance it being fake. But share it quick. So check this out, guys.
Oh,
Hold up. We ain't done. So there's a jock tag. Well, we ain't done yet, guys. Look at this. Ah!
oh,
Oh
God.
God, horror!
As soon as I saw those numbers, I'm like, no.
Look at
Someone's gonna buy that too. That's the sad thing.
oh. Yeah, dude, this thing is just horrific looking, bro.
Oh, you want to know what this kind of reminds me of too a little bit? Remember these, like, there was like, I don't know if you could like, if you find one or something like, but it was like these like Century classic jerseys.
Players of the century.
Yeah. Or those
Bro.
things. Like, oh God. There's
The-
like a Barry Sanders jersey where like the 20 was up here and there's like a Lions logo up here, but it looks like a really messed up thick t-shirt. It was like, ugh.
Hey
Yeah.
Rez, I know you remember back in the day the 49ers of the Century jerseys. It was the
Oh,
16, the
don't get me
33, the 42, and the 80. And
Don't get me
everyone used to
started.
have those.
Rez, the horror. My first fake jersey, my first fake Mitchell Ness jersey I ever wore, Walter Payton, and I didn't know at the time that this was a fake. A friend let me borrow his jersey.
Yo,
Remember I told
You wore
back in
proudly.
freshman-
That's what's
remember,
up, though. Nah,
remember I told you I did a project about Walter Payton, freshman year of high school. Well,
Yeah.
a buddy of mine actually, coincidentally, his nickname is Slim too, and he let me this was his jersey and he let me borrow it, and I didn't know at the time that I was rocking a fake. But it's crazy now that I have a legit one, and when I see this jersey, when I see this picture, I'm not gonna lie to you, Rez, it humbles me, man.
Of course. That's the way to look at it. You know, like for me, I kind of wish that I still had the first fake jersey that I bought, because it kind of makes me that I'll look back at that and kind of just look at where I'm at now and be like, yo, this humbles me in a way, because this is basically where, you know, this is where I'm at now, and this is why I do take pride in what I do, because of something like this. And I remember the first fake jersey that I bought. It was a Chicago Bulls, obviously, from the 97-98 with the finals patch on it. But this thing was just all like horror. It was just so ugly. And I got rid of it. I gave it to I mailed it to some of my family out in the Philippines. I don't know where it is now. And I remember I bought a Larry Bird jersey on eBay for like $15.
One.
Yeah, well, I have a legit one now, thanks to you. But I mean, like back in the day, like I had one that was made in God, it was just horrible, dude.
Speaking of Larry Bird, since you mentioned him, keep a lookout for me on that same style, at least older run, El Salvador, whatever, in a 56 or a 60, in a bigger size, man. And,
I got you.
you know, I'm not going to lie, I do miss that jersey, but you know what? Honestly, it looked better on you than it did on me. You know, big boy. But hey, I still rocked it.
That's what's
I
up.
was like a little fridge. But look, now I have a legit, you know, Walter Payton, and you know it's crazy how far I've come along. And shout out to the Sarge, hooked me up with this old career run. I just love this jock tag
That's
so
fire. Yeah,
Man,
the career runs.
that's dope.
Yeah, I need to get
much.
me
My
a career
favorite
run.
jersey too. This
Yeah.
right here is my favorite jersey, man. And
You have Gil Sayers, right?
hell, yeah, buddy, I got his home. You know, I actually made a video of it. I got his
Yeah, I
home
remember you.
69. I also got the away too.
Nice.
That's fire. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
What's
I
up?
was gonna say, Big John, if you go on Ebbets Field, they're making football jerseys now. They have some like I think 50s, 60s Bears jerseys.
Brian Piccolo.
Okay, yeah. So you see, so you know that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, Jake. You're gonna hate this, but there is a Packers jersey I want right now. It's a Ray Nitschke. I want one of those like bad. But
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough. But anyways, throwbacks. Check this out.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that.
I remember those.
Those are the ones. Those are the ones that had the like two instead
Oh
of.
my
But yeah,
god!
I remember those. $400. Who's gonna spend $400 on that?
Look at that. You got Roger Craig, Ronnie Lott, Joe Montana, and Jerry Rice all in
Good
one.
Lord.
Now, for the record, they never actually made legit versions of those, right?
Hell no, they did.
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
Dude, you know, I remember like the People's Logic, like back in the day, they'd be like, dude, you know, you could rep like 4 players for the price of 1 jersey. And then they're like, dude, that's like the best thing. Look at this. Look at the freaking back of this jersey.
Yeah, that was the I remember.
Oh,
That was
God.
the
and
Cholo
the
jersey back in the day.
Signatures.
Yep.
Damn, high school
Horrible.
people used to be having that. They really thought they were doing something with that too.
I used to know a dude, man, that used to try to flex like all the time with these jerseys. And he had like he had all the teams too. He had the Raiders. There was a Raiders one. He had a 49ers one. And then did you see the split ones? The half and half 49ers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
God,
the Jerry
I've
Rice
seen
split. The Jerry Rice
seen
split.
what
Raiders.
the hell, dude?
Yeah.
But you wonder what's crazy about that too? They actually made legit versions of the split jerseys Mitchell and Ness did here a couple of years ago. And I remember because back in the day, I was always said if it's a split jersey, it's a fake. So
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
so the Century jerseys were those? Is that made by a actual like a company, or are those just fake Mitchell and Ness? Like what?
It's like
What?
so I don't know the true story. I think Mac would have probably given a better story confirmation. To my knowledge, it was a brand that was not like authentic.
Yeah. Okay,
Like, they weren't like officially licensed.
so it
Okay.
wasn't a brand. It wasn't a company. They don't have fake Mitchell and Ness tags though, right? It has
No.
a company name
Yeah.
that just made these. Okay, that's what I was
But
trying
then
to figure.
the thing is though, they copied like the Mitchell and Ness tags, like the way it looked. The
Yeah,
dot
yeah.
tag, like it was like the same thing, like it had the same like font, like, and it was just like a poorly executed jersey, dude. But yeah, they didn't.
I
like,
remember
actually have
those.
on it,
I remember those back in the day.
dude.
Right.
Those. What's up?
You know how you mentioned Gale Sayers earlier? The first Gale Sayers jersey I bought, I didn't know it was a fake. Dude, you want to talk about a good fake? I mean, I'll show you a picture of it, man. It was a rookie 65 Sayers. This right here, I'm about to show it to you, man. I had no idea at the time that this was a fake.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
I
I
used-
remember you posted that on Kings. Yeah, that's a good fake.
Oh yeah, but
That's a really good fake because that
yeah,
that got
I thought
me.
it was legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was legit. I even made a YouTube video and everything, and I ended up taking it out. So when I posted it on Kings, a couple seconds later, you know, Ron commented he was like fake, and then, you know, of course, I took it down, of course. And then Ron messaged me, and you got to think about it, I was still new at the time. This was I think earlier this year. This was during wintertime, and there'd been a delay on the jersey, because of the weather and all that, and finally came in. Come to find out, it was fake, and I basically waited all this time for nothing. And Ron ended up helping me out. Ron was like, trust me, it's fake. I told Ron, I was like, dude, you're one of the OGs. I have nothing but respect for you, man. You say it's fake, brother. I believe you. And he helped me out. And, the seller, he was basically playing hard to get. So Ron ended up stepping in. Ron helped me through the whole process. Next thing you know, the seller sent me a message. He was like, your buddy was all over me. And I was like, Ron chewed him out. He told me. He was like, your buddy got me good. And he had no choice but to give me a refund. If he didn't, Ron was going to get him some more. And
Ron was a straight shooter.
Ron was a straight shooter. Think about it this way, dude. Here's this young 21-year-old kid just now getting into the jersey game. And here's Ron, someone I don't know, helping me out. It made me realize it's like, it's crazy, man. It's like, it's crazy that someone that I've never met in person can make such an impact on my life. And, of course, after that incident, the jersey gods finally called, and there was a guy selling a whole bunch of jerseys. Rez, I think you've seen it. It was a whole bunch of comments on it. I forgot the guy's name, but he had a couple fakes in there too. He also had a lot of legit stuff. And the away version of the Sayers, I got the 69. That was the first Gale Sayers I got. And coincidentally, the home Sayers that I showed, I actually bought that on Gale Sayers' birthday. So talk about a coincidence that I got his home and away. I went from having a fake 65 Mitchell Ness Gale Sayers to having not just one, but two home and away sets for the 69. You know how hard to find those are, the older run. And I'm happy that I'm one of the few that have it. I know Slim's got it. He actually had a double, and he turned it into a Piccolo. Yeah, I think he posted a Piccolo not that long ago, but it's crazy, man. It really humbled me. That fake Sayers definitely humbled me as well. But again, thank you, Ron.
Shout outs to Ron, man. Yeah, he was a straight shooter. Speaking of, I want to show you another horror jersey right here, and I think this will affect Big John the most. But
oh God, don't no, Rez, come on.
What?
My eyes.
Look at that! Look at that jock tag, man. Look how precise Sammy bought.
Oh.
How much does this guy want?
You know what?
$59.
You know I'm
look at that skull.
Rez, I'm gonna counter it, bro. I'm gonna counter it with this.
What you got?
Here's a legit one.
What the? Even has the NFL. Wow.
Look at the neck tag, guys. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh God.
I always find it funny, like I always find it funny watching like these really, really badly done fakes, and then like someone like Big John over there holding up an actual legit one, and just how far off some of them are, and like how much money they're asking. When I could go find a legit version for like maybe even half of that if you can find one, like some of the guys who are thinking, oh, this has Dick Butkus's name on it, so it must be worth like $500. When in reality, it's not even worth a roll of toilet paper. It's like,
I'm not done yet. I got one for you, Jake. Here we go.
All right, let's look at this bad boy. Oh,
Fran the man
Tarkenton.
Look at that jock tag. Look how precise that thing is.
Oh, geez, man. Oh, like I say, I scroll eBay every day. I see stuff like this, and I'm like, oh, it even says made in China. I mean, I know that they made China jerseys, but it's just like,
Not back then. They
No.
didn't. Yeah.
Well, at least that. I don't know.
Yeah.
When did they actually start making like the older made in China? What would be considered?
I think it
older
was
made in China?
I think they started doing it like in, I want to say like 2000 and
Gotta find it.
I think like 2010.
Okay.
I
So
think
kinda-
I'm not 100% certain, but I remember like they started to do it when they were incorporating both Korea, China, and Vietnam.
Okay.
Kind of surfacing around that time frame. So,
Yeah,
do you guys so like?
All right.
What is like the ugliest jersey like in your guys' mind? Like it's just like God, like what the hell is that? Like
The 2011, 2010, 2012 Packers throwbacks.
I gotta look this
I
up.
was gonna say that. You're talking about the navy blue and
Yeah,
brown?
the navy blue with the yellow circles,
ugly.
12, and like the,
Oh,
I just trapped my pants brown.
That's a throwback they did not need to bring back. That
No.
is ugly. I was literally gonna say that same one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one
like-
is bad.
You know what I'm talking about, Rez? Like the big, like the blue, like the navy blue with like a yellow circle with like the blue number on the inside. On the back,
hold
it had
up.
the
Let me
yellow
pull,
number.
I'm gonna pull it up for people who don't know.
Okay.
Oh, wait a
Well,
second.
those are close too.
Big John, is that Packers too, right? That's the Packers.
This?
Yep. Those.
Oh,
I
I
think
hate this jersey.
I think the one Big John showing might be even worse than those.
Yeah.
Hold up,
What
hold
was
up.
it? The
Bears.
75th
Let
Bears?
me highlight you real quick.
Yeah, that's worse.
What
Yeah,
the hell? What is this?
Yeah.
Was that
What are
like
they,
the
referees?
75th
Yes.
anniversary?
Yep, 75th
Oh
anniversary
my
Bears
gosh.
jersey.
Yeah, that's
The
even
Steelers
worse.
had a
Makes me sick.
similar one.
Yo, that's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
bad.
the Steelers had a similar one that they kind of recreated. Well, the Bumblebee jersey.
The Bumblebee. Oh yeah. You know which one I didn't like either? I didn't like the one that the and I might offend some Eagles fans in here, but it was the one that it was like the half like yellow and like blue on the top. Like
Oh, the 07 throwback.
I
Yep.
could not. Yeah, like I just like I'm a fan of like jerseys that pop that have flair, but like that one to me was oh nah, I couldn't do it, man. Hello.
Hi.
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 How you doing?
Hello.
Hi. Oh, marong puto
She just saw herself on camera. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Hello.
Welcome.
And Rez, go on, Rez.
Red.
Hello.
She's saying Rez.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah,
She's
the
doing good today.
cool. That's good. Welcome to the show.
Where's Mighty Fan when you need him?
I think Mighty's doing another live with the fitted hat thing because
Oh,
he
yeah,
posted
yeah.
he posted a story about doing like the views from the vault thing.
Yep.
But who's this? So Sam says Houston Oilers can
Oh,
on radar. That's a good one.
Oilers jerseys.
No
always
Oilers.
What up? What up? H Town, what's good? Yeah. So I mean, like that. Going back to what we were talking about, that Philadelphia Eagles jersey, that Packers jersey that you guys mentioned, and then the one that Big John showed, probably
The Bears. Oh god.
were, yeah, not the ugliest and scariest jerseys that I've seen. Is there any hockey jersey that you guys are just like, what in the world is that? There was one, but I forgot. I don't know what team or like what league this was.
Oh, is it like the Burger? Do you remember hearing the Burger King jersey name at all? It was an LA Kings jersey.
Really? You
Like
think
the
that jersey's
mid-90s.
ugly?
No, I like that one. I'm just saying that was one people would consider ugly.
No, it wasn't that
The
one.
mustard yellow, Nashville one. The Nashville third.
Let me see.
Oh yeah. That one is not good. Yeah.
Nashville.
Yeah.
What year did they wear this?
Like 2001, 3, something like that. It was like the early to mid 2000s before they went to the Reebok era.
You're talking about the Predators?
Yeah.
Uh,
And I know this one because, well, I mean, to be fair, though, I look at some of those jerseys and be like, ooh, those are kind of cool. They're ugly, but they're cool. You know.
Let me see.
Yeah. By the way, if you really want to get jealous of like a hockey jersey collection, there's a guy on YouTube called the Hockey Guy.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, he does.
Oh
like,
yeah. He's
this
a
guy
legend.
is super knowledgeable. You're talking about
Yep,
this?
yep, that's the one.
Hey, Rez,
Yeah,
What's
that
up?
color, I don't like that color.
I'll tell you a jersey I really want, man. Forget the ugly. Now, this jersey is beautiful, man. I really want it. And I saw it listed for $1,000.
Oof. Is that a McNair?
Yep. The 97.
Why is it
man.
$1,000? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I'm like, is it like game worn or
Yeah, is
something?
it team issued or something?
No.
Yeah, or it's
I
got to be
don't know
signed
why.
by him or something. What in the world?
Yeah, it's listed for $1,000. I'm like, dude. I'm like, that's just crazy, man. And now if it was game worn, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, an authentic Mitchell Ness for $1,000. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, they just.
It's just crazy, man.
I don't think any retail or like any jersey is worth that much unless it is like signed and or like game worn. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only time I could even justify a jersey being remote, like even close to that price. But other than
Yeah,
that,
that's another horror story. The prices.
$1,000, dude.
Ben says, I'd say the worst jersey I've ever seen was a Milwaukee Bucks throwback jersey and the little blue Lakers.
With the buck on it? Like with
yeah,
the
which
actual
buck?
buck on
You're
it?
not talking about the one with the deer, right? Because that one was fire.
I love
dude.
that one.
That's like one of the best Bucks jerseys. And then the little blue Lakers or light blue Lakers throwback jersey. Yeah, I mean, I could stomach that jersey more than the Eagles one that they wore. The Eagles. Let me pull up a picture for those of you who are wondering. But I never liked those Eagles jerseys, and I'm not like one to bash on the Eagles like uniforms. I love their uniforms.
From like the Donovan McNabb days, like that.
Oh, dude, that like emerald green or whatever color they have is just like straight fire, dude. But
Hey, Raz, man.
what's
You
up?
know how you were showing me that fake bear jersey earlier? You broke my heart, man, when you showed that William Perry.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, man.
You know
I
what
saw
though?
that.
Just to add to what you were saying, so there's a fellow king. I'm not gonna throw his name out there. He sent that to me as a picture, like because it was from his collection. This was before he knew about the fakes, but yeah, that was not a pretty jersey, man. But this is the jersey I'm talking about, dude, from the Eagles. Oh my gosh, I just
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, that's
God,
hurt.
I
That's
cannot
ugly.
stand like these jerseys are just horrible.
That's bad.
That's a bad jersey, man, and not in a good way. Where's the picture at?
Hey, I wouldn't mind if the Packers were wearing that. Because listen, you know how much I don't like the Packers, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, yeah.
Jake knows.
Now, what do you think of their?
Yeah, these jerseys.
Yeah, those are. I would actually probably buy one. What do you think of the alternates that they'll be wearing against the football team this Sunday? The John Deere jerseys.
I mean, they're. I guess you know what I mean. I guess they're all right, you know. But I think that one right there is probably the ugliest. Like one of the ugliest football jerseys I've seen. Tony C says Canucks flying V jersey is.
Oh yeah.
I gotta look at that.
It's from like their inaugural era from like the 70s. CCM came with a throwback a few years ago or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about this jersey? Hold up, let me pull it up. I call this jersey the "Beam Me Up, Scotty" jersey because it reminds me of something from like Star Trek or whatever. If this is the one that we're talking about, but it's
all right. Well, let's see here.
Is it this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
One of my Jersey head friends, he was saying that this looks like you're going to like a choir or something.
Yeah.
You're going to like a gospel.
Yeah, because that's like the second ever like jersey. Because again, I'm like subscribed to the Hockey Guy, and he does a jersey history on like almost all the teams and stuff like that. And he was like breaking this down. This is like one of his favorite jerseys in his entire collection because of how gaudy it is. And yep, the Bumblebee jerseys.
Oh God,
that looks like a rugby jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the one. Yep. That Canucks one was Whew. That is.
Oh,
And they even had a marigold one for the home.
What was that? They had a.
Basically, on the Flying V, if you inverted the colors, that was like their home one technically, and the black one was the
Wow.
road one, I think, if I remember hearing right.
So the yellow ones are worse. Which yellow ones? You talking
Oh,
about the Canucks?
the
one?
Canucks?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see how bad is that one? That probably is because black at least makes it a little better, probably because it's more black. If it's more yellow, it's gonna be bad.
Oh damn! Yeah, no, this thing is crazy. This looks like out of this world, and not in a good way. let me pull it up real quick. Damn. All right, here we go.
Yeah, you definitely won't be missed wearing one of those.
Oh god.
Yep.
Wow.
That looks like a karate master outfit or something like that.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, it looks crazy.
Dang.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I don't know how do people get paid to design these? Like how are you? I don't get what made them all agree this looks good. Let's put it out there.
Well,
Even in the 70s, I still don't see where would make you make that. I don't get
if the organization's like a multi-billion organization, they got money, man. So
Yeah.
and then now like you have like sponsors now, like in the NBA, they wear like the sponsorships.
God, I can't stand that.
Like, you don't like that? You don't like patches? Like,
I like patches, not sponsored patches though.
sponsor
That's different.
Yeah.
I hate that. And I told myself for the longest time I will never buy another NBA jersey, current one, because of that. And what did I do? I bought a white Draymond Green, and I had to buy it with the patch with the brackets in because if not, I felt like it wasn't correct. So I sold out.
Yeah, there's people who do that. Like, I have a homie who he will not buy any. He's a Warriors fan, but he won't buy any Warriors jerseys unless they have the patch. Like,
Yeah, I have to. Even though I hate the patch, I just have to have it on there just to feel right.
right.
Crazy.
I'm
Double-edged
the same
sword.
way. I was like that too. Like, I prefer the sponsor patch on it just because it's more true to how the players wear it. But I've gotten to the point now where I guess when it comes to other teams, it doesn't bother me as much as opposed to like my own teams, like where I'm like, nah, it has to be like the real deal type of thing. But the average like consumer wouldn't even know that,
Yeah, they don't notice.
They don't pay attention to that.
And then I saw this year they got the Nike. I noticed yesterday the Nike sign now on the jerseys is like silver. Is that because the 75-year anniversary, or what's that about?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
When I was watching the Warriors Lakers last night, I noticed that the jerseys now, the Nike sign on the jerseys now is like silver.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Is that for the 75-year, or is that just
they're doing like the diamond anniversary, like to celebrate the 75th season for the NBA.
I thought it looked pretty cool. What'd you think?
No, they're dope. I talked about this on one of my lives a while back, and we kind of just showed like some new the new upcoming NBA jerseys, and I don't know if all teams are doing it, but they all like most of the jerseys now have that diamond swoosh, or even like if they're wearing like the statement editions with the Jumpman on them, the Jumpman also has like that diamond like effect.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I thought the Lakers had it because I thought because they won the finals last. Oh no, they didn't. That was 2 years ago. I'm tripping. Damn, never mind. But then I noticed the Warriors had it too, so then I was like, okay, so I know that both.
Yeah. I know the Nets have it, the Bucks have it, the Warriors.
What makes them choose certain teams? Like, is it the team? Do you know if it's the teams accepting of that, or
so from what I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but from what I heard was that it was only the team, like the first, like the original teams that first started in the NBA, and I think it was 6 teams. I could be wrong, but I think the Warriors were Philadelphia. It was the Celtics, and then I think it was the Knicks and drawing a blank. But I think there was like 6 teams that were like they were going to have that like diamond.
But damn, wait, so the Philadelphia Warriors were an original team? Like I'm saying like when the first year of the NBA they were a team?
I think I could.
Oh, I didn't even if that's the case, I didn't even know that. I need to look into it. I didn't even.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I remember reading an article saying that like the reason why these teams have these types of jerseys is because they're like one of the original teams that first started.
I didn't even realize the NBA's history was so short until I seen the commercial for 75 years, and I'm like, that's pretty
it?
short for a professional league.
Yeah,
That's really short.
But you know what though, like, yeah, I mean, obviously, like the number one sport that has the richest history is baseball. Like,
oh yeah,
you got stuff like that dates all the way back to like the 1800s, bro. Like, that's wild. That's like super crazy. Because I think for like NBA, it's like I think it started in like the 50s, like as early as like the 50s, or 60s. You know, late 50s, early 60s, or something like that. But yeah, somewhere around that time.
What's good, CG? What's up, CG?
What up? What up? Betos, shout out to you, homie, for stopping by and showing some love, man. I know you're a sneaker guy, so definitely we'll be doing sneaker lives in the near future again. Tony C, any stories of nightmare eBay sellers? Great content, guys. Thank you. Yes, I have one, and I'll highlight that comment in just a moment. But let me, CG, what up? What up? What's going on tonight? But yeah, to answer your question, Tony. Nightmare eBay sellers. Yes, I do have a couple. But I don't want to take up all the time, but I will share one that I remember very, very vividly in my head. I remember that there was a seller who was selling jerseys, and he basically passed them off as being 100% authentic. But here's the thing, though. He was using pictures of other sellers' jerseys that were legit. And then when you bought the jersey from him, he'd send you something completely different, try to dispute it, and basically, you know, like, I don't know how this guy got around for so long because he was doing this for a couple of years when I first started collecting. And at the time, I wasn't very knowledgeable with being able to do legit checks and stuff like that. I was still like learning in the beginning of my jersey hunt, so to speak. But the jersey, I remember I bought one jersey from him. And that was the only one. And it was actually, it was a Vince Carter jersey from the Nets from 2005, 2006. I bought the navy blue one. And you know how it has like that sparkly material? When I bought the jersey, I got it. And the whole, like the twill and the numbers were just so flat. And like literally the polyester, like I was rubbing my hands against it and it already started to like break apart. So man. I don't have that jersey anymore. I kind of wish I did just to kind of show proof. But anyways, like long story short, this guy was getting people, man, left and right. And I don't know. I don't think he's around anymore. I hope not.
Hopefully
but this guy had a lot of feedback. Like I think he was a power seller. Back in the day. Yeah, like I don't know if eBay still does that, like power sellers, but like this guy was like pumping stuff out like daily. And it was just a bad overall experience. I left negative feedback on the dude, but I'm like one person compared to his like thousands and thousands of feedbacks. So that's my horror story with eBay sellers.
Rez, have you checked out CG's YouTube page?
CJ Ruthless Sports? I think I have. Yeah,
he's had a bunch of dope interviews lately with like Niners from like the early 2000s, like Julian Peterson, Derek Smith, Mike Rumpf. He's done a bunch. I've been watching. Yeah, he has some dope interviews on there. Some good Niners content.
I think I'm subscribed to him. Let me
sure. Yeah, he has some good Niners content.
How about you guys? You guys have any like eBay seller horror stories?
Well, for me, I guess really like the only real horror stories I guess I have are not really horror stories, but probably the biggest one was that McDavid jersey that I showed earlier, the clearly bootleg as F jersey. But that was just because at the time I was kind of like, to be fair, I was always a little hesitant, you know. But for me, I don't know. For me, I almost kind of sometimes almost look, and this could be a horror story in of itself, but almost kind of like be curious to see what it'd be like to get like a fake of your team, then like compare it to the real version of that. Like case in point, I did a video here a couple weeks ago or so, thanks to King Leonidas for the idea. But my fake versus real Reebok jersey, And I put a video up here a few weeks ago by like a fake versus a real Reebok Brett Favre Vikings jersey. And, you know, just
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah,
comparing and contrasting the
Yeah.
details and all that stuff. Part of me almost is like, just because there's a lot of them on eBay, like, you know, a lot of these like sellers that randomly pop up everywhere with like, you know, let's say Patrick Mahomes jerseys or, you know, like big name jerseys. Hey, Mighty.
What's up, guys?
Finally, he's
What's
here.
on?
Mighty, what's going on, brother?
How's it
By the
going?
way, congrats on your Flyers.
Yeah, we got 2 wins tonight, Flyers and Sixers. Who needs that damn Simmons? So, yeah,
Mighty, when's your next day in the life? I've been waiting for another one of those.
Yeah,
I know.
man.
I wanna say I'm gonna start it back up next week. I hope to get some more content out there. I know I've been lagging. I have to do a pickup video actually.
Yeah, I like those day in the life ones. I'm a mall guy too. I love going to the mall. So
yeah, I gotta get it going again. I've been remiss. I haven't. I just got so busy with stuff, and I've been getting a few things here and there, and I just haven't been able to film me going after stuff, which kind of sucks because I did get a Grail jersey from the Sarge, you know, a couple weeks ago. And I met him at the Cherry Hill Mall, and it would have been fun to like do a little video from there. And I just, you know, just one of those things. I was just in the zone. I didn't get the camera.
Yeah.
Feel it.
But it's a fun series to do, and I would like to get back into it. Hopefully, I can, you know, start it back up next week. So, what's the main topic tonight?
Well, I think this one is right down your alley, man. So I really do appreciate you hopping on tonight. But tonight we are talking about scary stories, horror stories, Halloween. We talked everything from scary like Jersey story, horror stories, just overall just like scary experiences. So this episode tonight is dedicated to the month of October, specifically Halloween. So if you have any horror stories that you would like to share, you know, now's the time to do so.
So you're thinking, oh yeah, no, there's my buddy right there. Yeah, I saw him on the weekend. I saw Halloween Kills on the weekend, and you know the funny
What'd you
thing
think?
about it, I liked
Don't spoil it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my bad.
No.
I went
I
Friday.
wouldn't give any. Believe me, I'm not one of those to do the spoiler stuff because I hate it when I try to avoid certain channels on YouTube if I know I want to see a movie, just because you know they give spoilers, and sometimes they'll say, "Hey, spoilers," you know. So I'm like, all right, I'll have to watch this video after I see the movie. But no, Michael Myers is, you know, the Halloween franchise is my favorite horror franchise because I think I have a kindred spirit with that series because we both debuted in 1978, and yeah, I have that figure. I wore my I should wear it tonight. I had my Haddonfield Slashers hockey jersey on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the original one from Geeky Jerseys, which I like better than the 2.0 that they did. But but I liked it. You know, there were aspects of the movie I thought were pretty on point, and there were ones that I had to go, you know,
I agree.
Yeah. I thought some of it was a little too gory for a Halloween, but yeah, you know, that's just how it goes with these horror movies these days. The more gore, the more they want. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're Michael Myers or some spirit in the house. There's gonna be gore involved more than likely. So, but no, this is my favorite time of year. It's probably my favorite month. I love Halloween. I mean, if I can unplug this for a second.
Let me. I want to share something with you, Neil, real quick.
Yeah.
And everybody else in here.
Leave the gym right now. For what? I'll ask you one last time. Leave the gym, or I help.
Oh man, that whole Ben
Love
Simmons thing is just that's scary in itself, man. I don't know what he's thinking about that whole thing. I don't want to get I don't want to open a can of worms about Ben Simmons.
Don't even start that.
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
start that, but I thought I'd share that because I thought it was funny.
There's even an NHL version of that too. There's
Is
an
there
NHL
really?
section. Jack Eichel. Just
Hey,
look up
yeah,
Jack
what up?
Eichel.
What up? Yeah, so basically as Mighty's getting set up and everything, you know, you got Billy in
Jigsaw.
there. Damn.
Yeah.
I showed it earlier, man. Rez, what's not showing a picture of him earlier,
There's
man?
my other buddy.
Yeah.
I got him over there too.
Hold up. Let me take this out right here.
I love October,
Yeesh.
man. Halloween.
Got the little village up.
Hey.
That is beautiful, man.
That's cool.
I do a little. I thought I could turn the camera around, but
Hey, you got a good setup.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
Neil, man.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
get
Jigsaw.
everything up this year. This is actually light for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Light.
Oh yeah. I got bins of stuff. I just got a late start this year to put up the Halloween stuff, but I love decorating for it, you know, and the different things. It's just always been something fun for me. So but yeah, I just got too late to start this year, and I got like 2 bins and shelves of stuff that I didn't get a chance to bring down. And I just figured, you know, why, you know, get it all up and I have to take it down right away. It's kind of defeats the purpose. So, yeah.
Right.
But I got a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, I got a lot of stuff that, you know, usually is up and light up stuff and something, you know, makes projectors on the ceiling and all sorts of different stuff. This is just kind of bare boned this year for me.
That's bare bone. Sheesh.
No, this is definitely bare bone for me. Yeah, this is Halloween light. That's just one room because I mean, it's not as much, but I got a few things in here too. I get the light on. A few, you know. But again, it's these are actually the oldest. These 2 ceramic pumpkins were in the jack-o'-lanterns were in the old house. These go back to when I was really young. So no matter what, every year these 2 have to be put out. You know, these have to be put out. The puppet has to be put out. You know, I got this too. I got this, which I should have taken out before. But see, I'm running a little late this year. But I got this last year from that Spirit Halloween shop, and it's a little
Rocking the shirt today.
Yeah, it's a little pin, but I like it because it does the laugh. I love the puppet laugh. Oh, you know what? I should bring him out too. See, that's the problem when you have too much stuff. You forget what you have and what you don't have. But so now I'm gonna give it to you guys with the proper effect now. So you're gonna see the puppet with the right effect this time.
All right, let's see.
So we're gonna have a redo of this. Put this down here. This guy over here. All right.
Oh, God.
Oh man. That's creepy.
Yeah, this
Oh,
guy.
Hey, Mighty.
Is his name Billy or is it Jigsaw?
Billy.
It's Billy, right? So
Billy.
Jigsaw is the actual person behind
Yeah,
the puppet.
Jigsaw's the Tobin Bell character. Or
Okay, I've never
whoever
seen.
else, you know, came along, but the puppet was always Billy,
I see.
and named after the child that was never born. And as the story goes, as you get deeper into the series, but you know, Billy was actually, I mean, as you get deeper into the series, Billy, the original Billy they show is like a wooden puppet, and it was made for his child, which unfortunately was not born, but that was like a little toy that he made for his you know, unfortunately unborn child. And so he created, I guess, a more maniacal version of the puppet as his kind of mouthpiece for the different traps and how to get out of them and all. And you know, and that series isn't for everybody, but I love that series. I love the traps. I love the puppets. Probably my favorite thing of it. But just it's just funny how you kind of clamp on to certain things, you know.
Sure.
So for some reason, the puppet that kind of happened, and I got quite a few of them around. And Halloween, the original Halloween, was the first horror movie I ever saw. I remember I saw it on Halloween many years ago, and we had a friend of the family who lived in a neighboring neighborhood, and we used to go to their place. And in this neighborhood, I mean, they had kids. You wouldn't believe how many kids they used to get on Halloween. It was amazing. That neighborhood called Narberth in the area, and just really great community. But so I was there, and I remember I was really young, and we went there. It was I did the trick or treating in the area, and then we went over to their place for the rest of the night, just to visit. And they had Halloween on, the original, and I sat down and I was watching it, and I was just, blown away by it. I loved it, and it just became, it became tradition for me to see it every year around Halloween. And I'm talking about the original 1978 version, right? And I just fell in love with it, and I fell in love with the genre. And there's some horror movies that I like over others. There's others that kind of, I'm not a big fan of the newer, what you call them, the Conjuring and the Paranormal Activity movies and stuff like that. I mean, I tried to watch some of them. It was kind of boring. So I said, all right, well, this probably isn't really for me. I just like the older, I like the older slasher movies, and I like the, those. I mean, I even like the old school. Like, I like the old school Universal monster movies too, like the old Dracula,
Nosferatu,
and Frankenstein and all that stuff. And obviously, I mean, Halloween's just it for me. I mean, Halloween is always going to be the granddaddy for me. I know they've done so many different interpretations of it, so many different sequels, and then the Rob Zombie ones. And I like the newer ones. Like, I really enjoyed the one that came out, I think, 2018, when they brought back, Jamie Lee Curtis, and they brought back some of those original characters, and even the guy who played Michael Myers.
That's the one where they burned the house, right?
It's him. It's the same actor with the mask that played him in 1978. There were two actors that played him in 1978, and they brought one of them back. And it just had that old feel to me. Like, it had that vibe, that old Halloween vibe. And, I really enjoyed it. And so, yeah, I mean, we had to wait next year for this one, and I was ready. I went and saw it, and, I got to see Michael do his thing. So I was happy, but, it was, it's just one of those things, it's kind of weird how when you're younger, I mean, we know this with sports, how things just kind of, you latch on to things. And it's always become something that's very special for you. So, like, Halloween, the holiday and the time of year became a very special thing for me. And that's why I always just went over the top with everything with it, the decorating. We used to do the haunted house. We used to, when we got, my friends and I, when we got too old for trick-or-treating, we loved the haunted houses, so we did our own. And our interpretation of it was that we wouldn't scare any people when they would be coming in, because we want them to come in and take a look at all the decorations and everything. And I mean, it was just crazy decorated, all the stuff. Like, people knew about the house. The people would always make that like the first place to come to every year, right?
Right.
They would come in there, look around all the decorations. My mom would be sitting there with a candy bowl, in the living room, handing the candy to them. And then, so I would always tell my friends that we had this like pact about it. We wouldn't do anything to them when they're coming into the house. But when they start leaving the house, that's when we start, that's when the fun starts. We start coming after them with our costumes, and I would jump out of bushes, and it was great. And we would give it to the guys who came without costumes even more. Like, they would come to the door, oh, I'm a rapper, oh, okay. All right, you get to go in. You're going to be leaving kind of fun. and they would, I mean, you're talking about like high school age guys, and they were the most frightened, right? Like, because we got one of my friends would wait up in the steps in the staircase, because the old house it would kind of be like this, although there'd be another staircase coming down, and the light was so you couldn't really see anything up there. Right. So when they were leaving, he would run down the steps and charge after them out down the driveway. I mean, he would literally be chasing them down the driveway, and they'd be running down the street, and he'd still be going after them. I mean, one year I dressed up as Ghostface, so I was the Scream character. Another movie.
Okay.
And I had the whole costume on, and I was ducking behind some hedges, and these two guys came up. They didn't have costumes on, so I jumped out and yelled, "What's your favorite scary movie?" You know, and they fell backwards. One of them fell over the neighbor's hedge, and he got up. He started running. He looked like something out of the movie Scream. He just started running. Oh, it was great. I used to have an old. I have a Jeep now, Patriot. I used to have an old Jeep Cherokee Sport, 93. That was my first vehicle, black. So you couldn't see it at night. And I had it parked. The way the old house was, you had a couple steps. You can't, because we had a shared driveway with the neighbor, then it would split off. Where it split off, that's where you had the front entrance of the house. You would have to go up a couple steps, and there would be like a little patio kind of thing, and then there would be the front door. So I'd park my Jeep right up against that, right to the driveway, right to where you would turn to walk up to go to the front door. So you couldn't see the Jeep because it's night. So I'd be in the Jeep. And again, I'm not doing it because this is what I learned about watching all those horror movies, right? It's all about suspense. So I didn't do anything when they were coming up. When they would be coming out, walking out of the house, I would turn the lights on and hit the horn. Oh, that got them. Oh, they would jump.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I just want to
just to wrap this up. I'm sorry, but
no, you're good.
The best story I think I had of all those years. So we did this for a number of years, and things happened. My friends moved to South Carolina, so it really ended up just being me, like at the end with my mom, right? So there was this one kid that came, and I'll never forget this. He was dressed as a surfer, and he had a surfboard with like a shark bite on it. And he walked in, and he's looking around the house. He's looking at all the different stuff, and his mother is with him, and he's he's a little older, right? The mother says, my son came here years ago. He was so afraid. You guys scared. You guys did your haunted house. You scared him so bad that he didn't want to come back here for years. But this year, he said he wanted to come to this house first. He wanted to fight his fear and come to this house first to overcome that fear. He wanted to see this again. And I mean, I just felt a kind of way about it. I'm like, man, when you can do that, you're doing something, that leaves a mark,
sure.
And that was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's cool, man. Yeah, no, that's dope that you have those stories to share and stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight this comment real quick, man, because I was reading the comments as Mighty was telling his story. But Tony C, a big thank you from me and my wife. We're both sick with COVID, and your content is making us feel better. Stay safe, everyone. So
stay safe, Tony.
Get better,
Stay safe,
buddy.
Tony.
I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, like that means a lot, man. Like, shout outs to you and your wife, for even just tuning in and just showing your support, man. I know COVID, you guys are probably quarantining right now at home. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you guys get a speedy and full recovery. But thank you. A channel as small as mine and these live streams and for you guys to spend it with us this evening and just kind of talk about, these little stories that we all have from all over the world is just, I love it. And I'm very humbled and grateful. So Tony's wife, my thoughts are with you guys. You guys will get through this. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. So that means a lot. Sam Urbano says the Elvira specials were great as a kid. Yep, my fiance is like in love with Elvira. We actually, I think it was, I can't remember if it was the first year we went to San Diego Comic Con, but me and my girlfriend is now my fiance. We actually dressed up as horror characters one week, or one day. So she went as Elvira, and I went as Jason Voorhees. And I remember I was like trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this costume together, as this was like back when Toys R Us was still around and stuff like that. I think they're still around, but like there's not that many Toys R Us locations anymore. But we bought a we bought a Jason Friday the 13th mask that they had there, and I have the mask here that I can't show you guys because I'm on my laptop. But basically, here, you know what? Actually, let me take a picture right on my phone and I'll share it to you guys. But yeah, so basically, I bought the mask and then I was like trying to figure out how am I gonna? I want to go as Jason Voorhees, but I was like, I don't know where to go. So I kind of looked up things on like where to go and how to build a Jason Voorhees mask. So we went to like the Salvation Army, like Goodwill and stuff like that. And we just kind of went around, and my fiance and I were looking for like clothes. So we found like this old like olive jacket or like a button down, and we kind of teared it and added like fake blood on it, and with the mask. And yeah, I thought it turned out pretty dope for a first thing. But this is the mask that I had that I bought. It's signed now, so I don't have it. I don't wear it anymore because it's actually signed by one of the actors who played Jason Voorhees, Kane Hodder, and it was just dope. I have a picture of it, but I have to like find it somewhere. But let me actually show you guys one of my my Jason costume now. I thought about wearing it again. It's in storage, but I haven't really like. It's been so long since I brought it out. But let me see if I can find it.
Hey, Rez.
Mighty, that's dope.
What is it?
Nice.
What is that?
It's the Halloween jersey. Haddonfield Slashers.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I like that patch.
Myers 78 on the back.
That's dope.
Yeah, the shoulder patch just has the
Damn
logo.
I need one of those.
Yeah, this is the original that they did, and I just got lucky. Geeky Jerseys is the company that makes these, and I just got lucky because I didn't get it originally, and then they brought it back, and I was able to get it. And then the next year they made a 2.0, which I didn't like as much. I didn't like as much as this one. And then this guy here, I mean, this was so important for me to get. I mean, this was the Hat Club shock drop earlier in the year, and I missed out on it.
Dude, I talked about that earlier.
Yep.
Oh my god, I missed out on this thing. Originally, I was so pissed. It took me forever to find it, but I found it, and it was like, I mean, you guys remember it from the In the Life series, and it just it meant so much to me to get it. It really did.
That's cool. Here, let me show you guys my this was my cosplay that I did a couple years ago, and of my Jason Voorhees. So this Jason Voorhees was actually inspired by the Freddy versus Jason adaptation of it, because that was like one of my favorite ones.
Oh,
yeah,
that's dope.
That was a fun and interesting experience because my fiance took me to it was like this place not too far from here. I think it was in Fremont, but yeah, it was kind of like a creaky area. And basically, I got the get up. I tried it on. She's like, dude, we got to get some pictures of you in it. So like, I remember this was like an area where everybody was like hiking and stuff, and like a trail. So like, I was just standing there, and people were getting so freaked out. As I was just walking around in this like Jason Voorhees like get up and stuff, and as you can see right there, like I think the most expensive thing out of this whole costume was, believe it or not, was the burlap that I was wearing. Like I didn't realize how expensive and how like rare burlap is. Like I had to get that custom made. But I mean, all in all, like the costume wasn't like it wasn't like breaking my bank, but yeah, that was probably one of my favorite moments as Jason.
That's a great costume, Raz.
Very nice.
I dressed up as Michael Myers years ago, and I couldn't find a mask that had the blacked out eyes. So what I did, and again, this is me living at the old house and putting on the haunted house. So I wore sunglasses.
Oh,
Yeah, so the eyes looked black, and it got to the point where I looked like a statue. I wouldn't move until someone would come close. Then I might move. And I learned it just takes a little. You just move a little bit, the arm or something, and they freak out. And this one kid had a flashlight, and he wanted to see if the eyes. So he's shining the light in the eye, and it's the glasses, so you can't. He's like, he doesn't have eyes. He started freaking out. I dressed as the puppet with the tricycle. And the funny thing I did there was I sat still on the trike. I still have the trike up in the upstairs. Red tricycle. The funny thing is I had that tricycle when I was a kid. And it looked just like the damn thing from the movie. And it even had the squeaky wheel, like everything, you know?
Wow.
As close as you can get to what he wrote in the movie. So I'm on this tricycle. Not very well, but I'm on this tricycle. And people were coming, to the house, and I'm just sitting there, with the mask and the tux, everything, the whole getup, the bow tie, everything. And I'm sitting there with white gloves, and I'm sitting there. And again, they're like, is that real? Is that not real? They're trying to figure it out. Then they go into the house. And all I did, I was in one spot, and I moved to another spot. So when they came back out, they're like, he moved. He's over there now. And then I would start wheeling towards them, and you had the squeaky wheel going too. Like I want to play a game. And they would just run. And sometimes I would stand up.
That's funny.
Oh God, I got them good. I dressed as that at work. I went to work, and I went to the car and I got everything on with the tricycle. And we had an elevator, because at the time I was working up in the lab. I've been with the company over 20 years. I'm in the records department now. And I went up the elevator and I came out on the tricycle. And I just started wheeling around.
Hey, Rez, you're
What's
talking
up?
about Jason. I actually dressed up as Jason one Halloween when I was a little kid back in 2008, man. I wore the mask and all.
That's cool, man. Yeah,
You'd make for a good Jason there, Big John.
yeah,
Oh,
you could
man.
definitely play. I think a good Jason Voorhees, because the character of Jason Voorhees, he's supposed to be built, big.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a very menacing looking Jason, because I'm only 5'9", so everybody they'll probably think I'm Jason's nephew or something.
Hey, Rez.
But I'm not very obviously I'd have to bulk up, but I think you have the height and also the size to play.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even Michael Myers.
But the great thing about it is you just need the imagination.
Yeah.
You can turn yourself into any character. You just need the imagination. You just need to kind of learn the mannerisms. Those characters are pretty easy to play. They don't really say anything. You just kind of walk around kind of menacingly. It's all about the movement, and you just have to kind of find the mannerisms. Like Michael every now and then would tilt the head, do little things, and then kind of, walk a certain. I already have his walking speed right now, so, and I breathe heavy when I walk too. So it's I kind of sound like Michael Myers when I'm walking. I don't need the mask. Just.
Yeah.
I hear you on that one.
Oh man, mighty.
So I gotta ask you guys this: who in a fight to the death, who would win, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees?
When are they fighting?
When are they fighting? October 31st.
Michael.
Yeah.
All Hallows Eve.
If they're fighting on Friday the 13th, they may give it to Jason. But we'll see.
I figured I'd ask, because that's always I always hear that question in effect, if if Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers went toe to toe.
It would go the distance. I'll say that. It would, Jason has a bigger knife than Michael, but they both would probably do a lot of damage to each other.
Yeah.
Then they would team up against Freddy.
I'm waiting for another sequel of that Freddy versus Jason, but then I want them to add versus Michael Myers.
Yeah, yeah,
That would be cool. So
yeah. It was a cool movie. I was a little disappointed with it, but it was, for its time, it wasn't a bad.
I love the concept of it. I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool because that was something that was never done before with any of these horror films. So
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to the Jason Goes to Hell, because at the very end of Jason Goes to Hell, you do have Freddy's glove kind of come up and grab the mask. So they kind of hinted towards it, and it just never happened until obviously many, many years later. But
yeah,
it was an idea.
yeah, the idea was there, but the execution wasn't. So, so for any, I know Mighty, you came on here recently, but like we were talking about like any like horror like jersey or sports stories. Like, do you have any of those? I'm sure you have something. Whether it be
Well, I mean, the most recent was that, I guess, what was it, a year or so ago, that Billy White shoes, that blue, that Love You Blue Billy White shoes that got away. My doing. And it was just one of those moments where I just wasn't thinking correctly, because I was a couple days away from my next billing cycle to start. And I'm just one of those that if I go a certain amount with the billing cycle, I'm like, okay, I can't really do anything now. I have to wait. I have to be good. It's like I was telling you, Rez, about that Steph Curry jersey, right? It's like, I want it, but I wait till next week, kind of thing. So I was in one of those moments, and the Billy White, and the funny thing about was Slim was sitting right here in this chair, and I was sitting over there, and I see this thing on eBay, and I say, because at first, when you see something on eBay, particularly on the phone, you don't really see, like, you're seeing a little, like the little, stamp photo of it, you have to go into the auction to see the thing, like, the good pictures of it, right?
Yeah.
So I look at it and I'm scrolling, doing my usual, Nest jersey search on eBay. I'm scrolling, just a bunch of junk. And then all of a sudden I see this powder blue Billy White. And at first I thought it was fake, because I didn't realize the picture of it that I, originally saw until I went into the auction looked like it had stitch numbers. So I'm like, all right, well, that's probably a knockoff. And I go into the auction and I look at the pictures and I zoom in. And oh yeah, those numbers are heat pressed. This looks good. And or screen pressed rather. They look good. They look real good. I showed it to Slim. He's like, that looks good. I think you're good on that one. Are you going after it? I'm like, Slim, I got like 2 days to go until my next cycle. I really shouldn't. I did. And he's like, you're gonna let that one get away? And I'm like, Slim, I don't know. So I put it in my watch list, and lo and behold, it sells before I can move on it. Now, the thing about it is it was a buy it now or best offer. And I've said this before, and it's part of the reason why it's such a nightmare for me. What I realized later, and I didn't think of this at the time because I was just so enthralled with, oh my God, it's a blue bit. I've never seen a powder blue Billy White shoes Oilers jersey besides on some documentary I think they were doing, and one of those guys was playing a video game with his friends in like a dormitory, and he was wearing it. This is the only time I've ever seen the damn thing, right? I have the white one. You see the white one, but the powder blue, that one's the unicorn, right? So it sells, like I said, and I just felt horrible. And Slim's like, oh, you let that get away, and I'm like, Slim, I couldn't. And then the worst part about it was I started thinking of it later, and I'm like, you know what I could have done is I could have made an offer. And if the seller accepts the offer, I didn't have to pay right away. I could have waited a couple days till my next cycle started. I could have just told the seller, hey, I'm going to buy this from you on this day. And I'm sure the seller would have been cool. I mean, you're talking about like a day or two difference.
Right.
And I could have done that. And I was in this thought of like, because when you make an offer on another site, like let's say a Macari, right? Or a Poshmark or something like that, when they accept your offer, you pay right away. It automatically, because you put in how you want to pay, you go through all that when you're making the offer, right? So as soon as they accept the offer, it's done. You pay for it automatically pays for it, and it's done. So in my mind just couldn't, wake up at that moment where it's like, I can make an offer, and then if he accepts it, it would just sit for a few days. No one else can go after it because the auction ends, and it's going to be mine. I would just wait a couple days to pay for it, and I would even insure it. I would tell the seller, hey, like I said, I'm going to get this. I'm just going to buy it in a couple, on this day. And I just didn't think of it. And it's just that's the thing that made it the worst for me afterwards. Because like, not only did I miss out on it because I didn't go after it, but I could have gone after it. I could have made an offer, and then maybe worked with the seller on the price, and then bingo bongo, it ends, and I'm the guy that gets it. I just pay for it a couple days later, and I'm in the clear. I'm good. I have the Billy White Shoes jersey, a unicorn jersey that you hardly ever see. And it's one of those. It's been a nightmare. It's been basically the Freddy jersey. It's been in my nightmares with the claws. It's like you got Billy White Shoes with the claws coming after you. But that jersey is the one. As far as recently, that has been the one that just is the nightmare jersey. I mean, for a while there, many years ago, it was the Red Dion. It was the rookie, the 89, the original limited edition run, because that thing slipped out of my fingertips so many times.
The Falcons one?
The Falcons, yeah. The Red Falcons, the home Red Falcons. And that one, it was one of those that just, it just got away from me just strange ways. And I even did a video on YouTube many years ago on my channel where I was trying to get the jersey, and I couldn't get it on eBay. I had a moment of me not getting that jersey on eBay. One of my many years ago videos at the old house. And that just drove me nuts. That jersey drove me nuts. I saw it at the Mitchell & Ness store, the old store on Chestnut Street. It was on a rack, and I never saw it in there before. It's just someone had randomly gone there and exchanged some jerseys, some older jerseys for some current stuff. I don't know why you would do that, but this guy, I guess, just wanted some stuff. And that was one of the jerseys that he exchanged. Was that red limited edition original run Dion rookie jersey. And it was sitting on a rack, and of course it was full price. And I was just at that time, I don't pay full price for anything. I wait for the sale. And I couldn't go after it. That it was right in front of me. It was taunting me. It was like waving at me. Hey, And then when I got that jersey, oh my God, you couldn't. It was my Stanley Cup. And I could say the same about Billy White Shoes. If that one ever comes in, and there are certain jerseys that since that, I'll tell you, there's certain jerseys that, billing cycle or not, I just call it the F it jersey. It's like if I see it and I'm in one of those situations again where, I'm kind of at the end, I shouldn't do this, but no. Then there's only a handful of them, but that's one of them. If I see it and I probably shouldn't be going after a jersey at that time, that's an F it jersey. F it, I'm buying it. I don't care.
Well, Neil, this is my F it jersey right here.
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah. I don't know, fellas. I mean, look, we all go through this in this game. What makes it. That's what makes it a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because there's always. I mean, it doesn't matter the jersey. I mean, listen, even that Dion jersey, I had that thing in my hands, and I'm thinking about, okay, what's the next pickup? That's just the mindset. There is no. You can get the jersey that means the most in the world to you. And your next thought is, okay, what's the next pickup? What am I going after next? Right? It's like you're happy to have it. I'll make a video. I'll take some pictures for Instagram, whatever. And then it's on the rack, and I'm thinking about, okay, what's the next jersey? I mean, if I get the Billy White Shoes jersey, it's going to be the same thing. I'll get it. I'll be thrilled to death. I'll take pictures. I'll do a video, YouTube, whatever, bang it out, right? And shout it out to the world that I have this jersey. What's going to happen? It's going to go in my rack with my other Oilers jerseys, and then I'm going to start looking for other jerseys. And that's what it is. And I always tell, this is why I want to do that in the live series, because I always tell this to people. You don't know. People who don't collect don't get this. They don't understand. It's a mindset. You're never satisfied. It's a never ending thirst that you just cannot quench, no matter what. You can have a collection like mine. You can have a collection like half of mine. It doesn't matter. You can have 10 jerseys. It doesn't matter. You're always looking. There's always places, and now we have so many outlets for this. There's always places that are going to have them. There's always new stuff coming out that you want to add, right? Nike doing all this stuff. Mitchell & Ness, all these different companies, the custom game, all this stuff out there that's endless. And it's it's a thirst that never gets quenched, no matter what. Now things happen, life happens. People. Hey, look, people get relationships. People have marriages. People have a lot of more things on their docket that they have to, take care of. I mean, for me, it was getting this house. A lot more bills on my plate, a lot more responsibility that I have that I didn't have at the old house, right? So I had to kind of adapt to it. But it didn't mean I stopped. The collecting has not stopped.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's that's kind of in a way that's kind of scary itself if you think about it, because I mean, I find myself doing that too. Like when I got back to collecting jerseys, I told myself I'm only going to collect my teams, and that lasted like maybe a month or two, and then after that, I remember the jersey that got me back into collecting, just like stuff outside of what I collect. I mean, and I got the Lawrence Taylor jersey, and it was one of those things where I was like, man, dude, like I'm not a Giants fan, but I like Lawrence Taylor. I like linebackers, so why not? And then Lawrence Taylor led to a Reggie White. The Reggie White led to a Ray Lewis, and it just kind of started this domino effect. Yep. And like even like with the Kraken jerseys, I'm not a Seattle Kraken fan, but I sure as hell love the jersey. There are division rivals, but like I still got the jersey. But it's one of scary because I find myself constantly having these inside battles in my head, like when's enough, type of thing, man.
It's a drug.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggie approves.
It's a drug. Listen, there's a lot more worse. There's a lot more worse things that you could be hooked on, as we all know. A lot more worse things that you can be hooked on. But collecting is a drug. And our cocaine is the jerseys. Our needle is Macari, is Poshmark, is the custom people. That's what it is.
I have to ask you guys this, and this is a hypothetical, so knock on wood. I'm not saying this is gonna happen to any of you guys. Not wishing this to happen to any of you guys. But like, what's one thing? Like, let's say hypothetically your house caught on fire. Couldn't make it back on time. Everything that you had perished, including like all your collectibles. What would you do?
Well, for me, I would just say probably. I mean, yeah, it would suck. It would sting. It would probably hurt. But just get back on my feet again and just go back out there and start over. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, yeah, sure, some of these jerseys are, hard to find, difficult to find, but at the end of the day, they're just jerseys. They're just pieces of cloth. You could always go out there on eBay and find, authentic Reebok jerseys, authentic whatever for like 30, 40, 50 bucks that are of really good players, and then you could just go from there basically, or you could always go on like Fanatics or NFL Shop, browse the clearance sections of your favorite team or whatever. Yeah, sure, it might not be the most modern player or whatever, but you can always just start over and then eventually build back up to where you were or go for the bigger fish type of thing, But you could always just start over, basically. It would suck and it'd be difficult, but at the end of the day, like I say, they're just clothing items. As long as everyone was alrighty, everyone survived that, like human or animal wise or whatever, you could always go on eBay. You could always go on these websites and find jerseys again. You could always go to Mitchell & Ness or wherever, your local sporting goods store. You could always find stuff to get you going again until you can build back up again, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I would be upset because I would have to find a new house. I mean, that goes above everything else. But I mean, it is the. I mean, listen, it's the boogeyman effect. It's the Michael Myers effect. You can't kill it. You know, it's gonna burn. It's gonna do whatever. But then, you know, you're gonna start up again. You know, you're just gonna. You know, it's gonna slow you down. It's going to really suck because you're going to lose a lot of gems. I mean, stuff that, you know, you can't really put a price to in some cases because they're just, you know, they have a lot of sentimental value. You know, moments and memories that you have from your team success or whatnot. I mean, but for me, yeah, I mean, as Jake said, I mean, there would, you know, you would have to pick the pieces up and start back up again. And, you know, as we know, it's always a way to get them. You just have to kind of go from square one and go from there. But there would definitely be some difficult ones if I were to lose. You know, just jerseys, and I'm not even talking about the valuable jerseys. I'm talking about like my Fletcher Cox Super Bowl 52 jersey that I wore the night the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and I wore to the parade. I mean, that one has more value to me than anything you can put a price tag on because it has that greatest sentimental value to me. Greatest moment that I've ever seen as being a sports fan was that. And that's just what I happened to be wearing that night, a generic replica, you know, jersey that I bought at Modell's the weekend before. That's what I wore for that moment, and I wore that to the parade. And you can't replace that type of thing. I can get another one. I can maybe find one on eBay or, you know, or another outlet down the road, but it, you know, it won't be the jersey I wore that night. You know, it won't be the jersey that I wore when I was out there with all those millions of fans at the parade. You know, it won't be the same. You know, and there are others in the collection that have a lot of meaning to me too. I mean, you know, even you know, I mean, shout out to Mac. I mean, those two Laura Marion Kobe jerseys that he, you know, I was able to get from him. Those have a lot of sentimental value to me because I went to high school with the guy for a year, and that's the jersey. If I was to get the jersey that looked just like it came off of him during his days at LM, it would be those. So losing those would be very difficult. You know, losing some other my, you know, Eagles or Sixers or, you know, Flyers, Phillies. I mean, there's jerseys that I have that are just very sentimental to me, and they might not be rare. They might not be like real valuable, like, oh my God, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of a jersey, but they just have a lot of sentimental value and meaning to me. I mean, you know, the Brad Lidge World Series champs jersey I have from '08. I mean, that has a lot of value to me because, you know, that was my first championship of being a Philly sports fan, and he was the guy that got the last out in that game. I mean, my championship gold trim Shane Victorino jersey from that they wore on ring day, that has a lot of meaning to me. It's the only gold trim jersey I own for the Phillies. So, you know, those are the type of things that you can't, you know, you can't really, you know, get back in the same way. And I have stuff here that isn't jersey related. I have confetti from the 2 championship parades. I have pictures and all sorts of different things that just have a lot of meaning to me. And if I were to lose it, I mean, it would be a very difficult thing. It would really be a very difficult thing.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I feel like if something like that were to happen to me and like everything burned down, like all my collectibles, jerseys, I mean, I feel like it would definitely be. It's obviously it'd be devastating, but it would also. I think that would do it for me. Like, I think at that point, I mean, I would probably still buy stuff from here and there, but it would never be to the extent of what I have now, especially the pace. You know, like it's just like it's almost like your life's work. You know what I mean? Like you've been working on this collection for your entire life, and then for it to just be gone just like that, you know, in an instant. Like, I mean, I have stuff that is like almost irreplaceable. Like, you can't get that anywhere else. you can't put a price on some of these things I have. I feel like, but to each his own. Everybody has their own interpretation. I know Jake and Marty, you said that you're just going to pick the pieces back up and start again and start over. But for me, like I just feel like how far and how deep I am in this whole thing of collecting. I understand you can't, that's how most of us are wired, but I feel like that an incident like that would really just kind of it would have an effect on me, and I wouldn't be the same person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In terms of collecting, I would not be the same person. So, but I don't know about you, Big John or Jonathan, like how you guys would, what you guys would do in an instance like that.
I look at it like this, at the end of the day, I have to tell myself, I won't be taking this jersey, with me when I'm gone. But, like, Mighty, you call me the minister, man, and sometimes we get calls, and I hear stories of people losing everything, fires, and I hear all these stories, and it really changes your perspective. And listen, I love my collection, but if there's a fire ever happens, then like Mighty and Jake said, just pick up where I left off. And yes, I know I have some pretty rare stuff like a powdered blue Sao and the Stablers. Believe me, it took me a while to get those Ken Stablers and the Reggie White Green Bay Packers. You guys know I've been looking for his Eagles jersey. I hope to find one eventually, an older career run. But yeah, man, I got some pretty rare stuff like the home and away, Gale Sayers 69, and there's a lot of rare stuff. Of course, I also got the home and away rookie Steve Young Tampa Bay Bucks jerseys. But at the end of the day, you never know what you'll find. So,
I mean, like I said, first and foremost, as long as we're all okay, that's the most important thing.
oh yeah,
If you don't lose loved ones in the fire, then I mean that nothing compares to that. So that would be first and foremost. Things can be replaced, but
no doubt
again,
about it.
it would be tough because there's a lot of there is a lot of sentimental value on a lot of this stuff, and losing it would be. I mean, that would be tough. I mean, being able to breathe the next day and be alive, that's most important. But yeah, it would definitely be a kick in the gut for sure. For a lot of the stuff. I mean, I got a lot of decent things. I got the first, as far as we can tell, one of the first ever toys that was made for Mighty Mouse I have in my collection. It was an old Japanese tin car of him as Super Mouse back from the 40s. And that's a pretty rare piece. That's a piece that means a lot to me just because of the history. And that was actually given to me by an ex. So that was remembering who I got that from might not be the greatest, but the item itself is certainly a cherished piece of my collection. It is. Listen, we put a lot of value on this stuff, and it's because we have a lot of passion for it. I mean, we wouldn't do this. Look, we wouldn't be together here on YouTube right now talking if we didn't have the passion for this stuff. And each of us have our own stories. Each of us have our own collections and our own way of collecting and looking for things and why certain things mean something to us. And it is what it is. But the main thing is we have the passion. But most of all, we have the passion for life. So you can't listen. Life is the most important thing. And jerseys and items can be replaced, but you can't replace your life or the life of loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I lost a dear friend of mine many years ago, and it's a difficult thing. You can't replace that, and I've made many great friends since, but it's still something that you always carry. It's like a medallion you always have with you, and it's a difficult thing, and that's what makes life so precious, and that's what makes trying to get the most out of it the best thing that anybody can do, whether it's collecting, whether it's adventure seeking, whether, whatever it is that makes you happy, then that's what you got to do, and you got to do it to the best you can. And so if that stuff abruptly gets taken from you, it would be very difficult. But, the old saying is you got to get back on that horse, and that's just what you got to do and continue on. But I understand that people, like, if they go through a traumatic thing like that and they can't do it again, I certainly would understand that too. Me, I think I would probably try to get back on that horse because that itch is never going to go away. It's just never going to go away.
Definitely not. I don't think it will for me or for any of us in this room. But all right, guys. Well, it is getting kind of late. We're almost going on 3 hours here, but I do want to end the live stream with one last question. And since this is a Halloween-esque type conversation, I want to ask you guys, and it's an open question, but what is your scariest nightmare? I guess I will say. I will leave that to you guys. I will start to give you guys some time to think, but for me, like, my scariest nightmare for me would be basically, in terms of if we're looking at as a collector, I think would be somebody just basically taking everything away from me. Whether it be burning this stuff or whether it be breaking into my home and taking this stuff and just basically or getting my account deleted on YouTube or whatever, anything that gets taken away from me without my, I guess my will, that is probably my biggest nightmare. But I will leave the floor with you guys on this last question if you guys want to answer it. If not, I'll start wrapping things up.
Well, for me, I'd probably say my biggest nightmare would be losing more loved ones and finding out family passing away and stuff like that, just because, well, like I say, I've already lost enough family members to last a lifetime as it is, and I'm only 26, and I've already lost my mother, my brother, and a grandpa, and a grandma on my other side too. So I've lost quite a few family members over the past. So I'd say for me that's probably the biggest thing, is just whenever you lose someone close to you, just because, well, again, that's something that cannot be replaced. And then, but I guess if for jerseys and stuff like that, I'd say, yeah, probably just them, being stolen or burned to the ground or, stuff like that. But again, it's just, for me, that would, the loss of family and the loss of life would be my biggest nightmare, just because it's something that we've all gone through probably, and we all know someone that's gone through stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's it for me.
I just want to reframe that because I obviously losing a loved one is definitely something that I think would be horrific for any person, in their right mind. But I'm talking about as a collector aspect, since we all.
Oh yeah, then for that it would be just someone taking the stuff or burning it, or just kind of tying you down and taking it piece by piece or something like that, I guess. But that'd probably be that for me. Just turning around and poof, they're all gone type of thing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, for me, it'd just be going out of town or something, come home the next day, find out my spot's been broken into, and just everything's good, all the jerseys and everything's gone. That would probably be the worst situation. When it could, collecting wise, at least that would be the worst nightmare, just showing up and it's all gone.
Okay.
I think for me, it would be one of my biggest fears is heights if I'm out in the open. So if I'm in a plane or something, I'm okay. But if I'm out in the open, physically in the open, and I have to be on some high up thing, that it freaks me out to see those videos when you have these adventure seekers with the GoPro and they're dangling, hanging onto this rail on a mountain, and there's nothing, and they're just with one arm just hanging and taking, kind of. Those type of things freak the heck out of me. And two of the movies that I just gives me the willies. There was this movie called The Walk, and it was a true story about the guy from France who did the tightrope across the World Trade Center multiple times, and it just I'm just imagining myself on this thing, and I'm like, oh god, I'm like holding on to the chair, like death grip on my chair, just keep reminding myself I'm on ground. And the other movie was Frozen. I believe that was the name of it, not the cartoon. It was I think it was called Frozen. It was they were stuck on a ski lift chair all the way up, and they tried to. So I guess my biggest fear is if I had an opportunity to get that Love Your Blue Billy White Shoes jersey, and it was on one side of a very high up thing, and the only way I can get there is by going across this tightrope or some very narrow bridge without any thing. It was just like a plank kind of thing. That I don't know. Billy may have to wait. But I would be forced to do it. It'd be like one of those you have to do this type of thing. Oh God.
Yeah. What about you, Big John?
Man, I'll tell you one fear, man. My dad freaking throwing my jersey into the dryer like he did with the replica Walter Payton. Man, that was my high school graduation present. He destroyed it. I'll tell you something I don't like, man.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. Remember when I got fat shamed one time for wearing my Kobe jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's something I don't like, man. Because I'll be honest, I'm pretty self-conscious about myself. I know I've been losing weight, but it's just crazy, man. I get scared sometimes, man. People making fun of me when I wear a jersey or something like that, man. Because it's a struggle for me,
I hear you, man. Trust me. I deal with weight issues all the time, and I'm self-conscious.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you
I
too.
get depressed over that, man. It gets bad sometimes, man. Like for a couple of days, I get depressed over that. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
believe me, Slim reminds me. He always tells me, "Boy, all the weight I've lost, you put on." Like, oh, okay, so all right.
Trust me, Slim gets me all the time with Popeyes, or like if I'm doing a video and I'm moving and then like my double chin shows, he'll like screenshot it and he'll post it, like in the groups and stuff like that, But I know it's all love, and I don't.
I know, man.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, the best thing I can say, just keep your head up and just keep doing you. If you feel good, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, man. I finally realized, you know what? Screw the haters. And I will say one thing: Slim had my back, man. There was a guy on Jerseys, Kicks, and Lid. I think you remember. I sent it to you, Rez. Dude was getting on me. One day I wore the Kobe. He said it's too small for you. Next day I wore my Wilt Chamberlain, and he was like, "This guy went from wearing a small jersey to a big jersey." I'm like, "What is it, man? What is it with you? Did you pay for my jersey?" No.
Yeah, he's just a hater. He's just a
hater.
Haters gonna hate. That's the ugly part of this.
Slim booted him out, so I was happy about that.
Yeah,
that's good.
Good. Hit the road, Jack.
That's right.
We're effective on him. Don't worry.
I wanna ask one last question because I just came up with this as Sam Urbano. He commented about his chick burning his stuff. But anyways, I want to ask you guys, and basically this last question. It's a little game or whatever, but it's called Pick Your Poison. So basically, I have some thoughts in my head that I want to think. But let's say you have to pick one of these. You can't say no. I don't use this, but you have to pick one of these 4 options. And basically, the question is, if your collection, you're tied up, you can't do anything, but you're watching your collection get destroyed by one of the 4, and you have to pick one as it's happening. So the first category is burning your collection in front of your face, having a crazy spouse or a crazy partner destroy your collection in front of your face, having a dog or an animal just ruin your collection in front of your face, or the fourth option is basically your whole collection just getting like robbed right in front of you. You have to pick one of the four. If you had to choose, what would you guys pick?
I'm going with the dog
The dog.
because it's not malicious. The dog doesn't know what it's doing. Like the other three are human beings, so that's gonna piss me off. Or at least the dog, it's like I'm gonna be pissed, but it's you know it's just what dogs do.
Yeah, I'd go with the dog as well.
Yeah.
See, stuff like that. That's why I'm still single, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't risk that. No. Just stories like that. That's why I'm reminded. Yeah. This is why. This is why. Yeah, this is why. Yeah.
I'm with Mighty.
No, I would probably go with the animal, but I get to pick the animal. It'd have to be a bunch of foxes, and I get to keep the foxes later. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll have a fox farm.
Wow. So you guys have more compassion than for an animal ruining your stuff rather than a person or a crazy ex.
Well,
Yeah, because humans are the worst type of animals because we know what we're doing and we still do it. Animals don't.
Yeah.
They just do it. They don't know.
hey Rez,
Okay. What's
never
up?
mind about never mind about the animal. It would probably be the woman tearing up the stuff. Yeah,
Hell,
no,
got no
man.
fury like a woman scorned, man. That's what they say.
I don't mess with those women, man. Especially around here.
Yeah.
I don't mess with them.
Ain't worth it, John. Ain't worth it.
I'll stay
Ain't
with,
worth it.
you know what I tell them? I'm Hindu, man. I'm Hindu. Gotta stay in my.
Get fist bump, John. We're living the life. You
What-
and
so-
me, we're living the
Too
life.
sweet, baby.
Jake, living
Sam-
the life. He's married people in relationships they don't know. They think they know.
I'm single,
says
man, and
that.
I'm happy.
Sam says that he would chose to get robbed.
Right.
Care to elaborate on that? Because I think for me that would probably I'd pick. I mean, knock on wood, but I think I would pick that because at least there's a chance of me getting my stuff back. You know,
Good point. Good point.
Cops could
Yeah.
find this scumbag or whoever did it, but yeah, like I think that would probably be the one that I pick. But and Sam also says hoping to see my jerseys in the future of gun laws in Texas.
See, that's why I have the puppets all around. So they see that, they know.
Yeah.
They don't want
Right.
to play the game, so they're not touching my stuff. They see that puppet, they know. That's not what he didn't know. You don't want to deal with that.
Hey, Rez.
Gotta be single too.
That's right, Mark. Mark, man, that's right. Single
I
life.
think the only people here in relationships are me and Jonathan, right? I don't
That's
think-
okay.
Yep, I'm single.
Hey, it's all right, man.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean like is your Jonathan is your girl like do you find I mean I don't want to get you in trouble but like is she the type of person that would like threaten you like to destroy your stuff if you act like you ain't acting right?
Nah. Luckily, no.
No,
Yeah.
luckily no.
Yeah, luckily she's not.
You two look like you have good women though in your life. You know that
Uh-huh.
wouldn't do that kind of crazy thing.
I would hope not.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That
Thank
might
you,
end the
Mighty.
wedding real quick,
Because
Rex.
I haven't ticked her off that far yet to the point.
Yeah.
Something
You
for
didn't
ransom.
get
I've seen her give you the look, Rez.
You didn't get the
on that
golden
video when
bullet.
y'all went shopping.
Yeah, at
I saw
IKEA.
her give you the look.
She wasn't not having it yesterday because I was watching the
Yeah.
Warriors Lakers game, and she's a Lakers fan.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You know,
Oh.
I was doing a little PTC.
Make sure you lock the door with your jerseys in there. Just
Yes.
keep the key, just in
And,
case.
and I kept taunting her, and I was telling her she has a family dog, and I was like, "Hey, we gotta get Benny. His name is Benny." I was like, "We gotta get Benny some Warriors gear. We
Oh,
gotta get
my.
him snubbed out," and she was just not happy.
What look she give you this look? What look she give you, man?
For sure. All right, guys.
She gave him the look.
I'm gonna wrap things
That's
up
my
tonight,
mom.
man. But
All
I do want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight, man. You know, I thought I'd do a little festivities with this episode and kind of just celebrate the month of October, specifically Halloween. You know, I enjoyed hearing all of your guys' scary stories and perspectives of this month and just the overall like lore of Halloween. We got Michael Myers, who also made a
My
guest
God.
tonight right here. So, you know, definitely, I'm gonna live to see another day because we're all still alive. But before I go, man, I do want to give you guys the opportunity to plug your channel. Of course, you know, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. But I'm gonna start off with Jake. You want to plug your channel?
Alrighty. Well, like I say, my name is in the title. Jake's 199456. I do a lot of sports related stuff, and also thank you for getting me above 100 subscribers. That just happened
Hey,
the other day here. So
that's what's up.
Congrats.
Man. Sky's the limit. All right, Bay Area throwbacks. You know,
Oh, so yeah, I just got my YouTube page, Bay Area Throwbacks. I just show off jerseys I got, which are all Bay Area related. So for the most part, that's what I got. A lot of game used, team issued, and authentic. So check me out if you like.
for sure.
And check out everyone else on this panel and everybody else. Throwback King, Leonidas. Who else? Who else is out there? Sneaker Vision, J Mac, everybody.
There's a lot of people. A lot
Yeah.
of people. Big John, floor is yours, my friend.
Hey, yo, what's up, guys, man? Y'all check out my channel, Big John 75. And I got to say this, man. I finally reached over 200 subscribers. I'm at 202 right now.
Congrats.
I
Woo!
want
Congrats,
everyone
man.
that's subscribed to me. Also want to thank Tony C, man. I really appreciate you, my brother, for always checking out my videos. Thank you for your support. And you and your wife, y'all are in my prayers. Y'all going to get through this. God bless y'all. I also want to thank Rez for giving me the platform. Come on here. I really
Salute.
appreciate you guys. And I'll tell you, man, coming on here, it's therapy. It's really good, man. You know, we're really bonding, you know, growing the brotherhood. And I'm happy to have met you and Mighty and so many guys, man. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. Jake, Bay Area Throwback. Y'all check them out, man. And I'll tell you, man, y'all take care of yourselves. God bless, of course. Happy Halloween. And, of course, Too Sweet.
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right. And we got Billy. Billy on his ad. What's up, man? What's up, Mighty?
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. Well, you all should know me by now. My name is Neil, aka Mighty Mouse Fan 78. You can find me on YouTube there. You can also find me from time to time with my good buddies here on Rez's channel. You can also find me with my good buddies from Views from the Vault. I was on there before I came on here. Boy, I'm double dipping today. So, but no, you know, all sorts of stuff on there. Obviously, we have on my channel on YouTube, you have the jersey collecting, you have the wonderful wackiness of being a Philadelphia Eagles fan as well on there, and you just never know what you're going to find. So hop in with me. I would always appreciate it. And you can also find me on Instagram at Mighty Fan, and all sorts of good content on there too. So you all take care. Thanks for having me on as always, Rez, and to the rest of you guys as well. Have a happy Halloween. Watch some good scary movies, and don't let the bed bugs bite there. Don't have too much candy.
Well put. Well put. My friend. All right, guys, you heard it there. These are my guests tonight, this evening, man, who joined me on this Halloween episode. One last time, guys, if you guys are tuning in for the very first time or you're just watching the end of this live, you could check me out here every Wednesdays on my channel from 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, I have a lot of familiar faces that come here on a weekly basis whenever I do these. They're different topics every week, man. Great set of people with me right now on the screen, so definitely check out their channels. And if this is your first time tuning into my channel, welcome. Please check out the videos that I put out. I do a lot of content as well, just a little bit of everything, really. Everything from jerseys to vlogs to collectibles and things of that nature. So Calling in night, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. If I don't see you before then, but be safe out there. Eat plenty of candy, and don't get too scared. All right.
Peace.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Have a good night, and I'll see you all very soon.
All right, too
See ya.
sweet.
All right, take care, guys.